let's begin. What's up, everyone? This is Duke London Podcast, episode 39, I think.
Cool, blimey, that's a lot.
Yeah, man, feels like a lot. And I'm here in Pirate Studios in Hackney with Sunni Brummitt. Am I saying that right?
Indeed.
Yeah, B-boy Sunni. How are you, man?
Yeah, not bad.
Good.
I'm baking off a little bit. This not really used to this weather in England, to be honest, but
Yeah.
I'm appreciating it.
Same. You're Amsterdam now, right?
No, I'm back in England. I was,
Oh, really?
I was in
Like-
Holland for just over 2 years, but I came back
Oh, shit.
beginning of March.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just visiting, so you moved back.
Yeah, no, I'm back.
Okay. What was the move in the first place, and what's the why did you come back?
The move in the first place was just like I got my Red Bull contract, so I was like stable for the first time with dance, and then I just thought like while I'm young enough to do it, I might as well go explore. Like I got good friends in Holland, they're dancers, the Ruggeds.
Yeah.
Shout out them, they're super high level.
Yeah.
And they got just a really good infrastructure for dance out there.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm just a bit younger, nothing tying me down, I thought I'd just go for a little travel.
Sick. And how come was it always going to be that long?
No.
Okay.
Obviously with then Corona hit, then Brexit hit, then I was having a few housing troubles out there. So for me, like I was in like a good house, then I had to leave that house, then I was in like student apartments for like 6 months, and at that time it just wasn't really worth. Also like during the lockdown in Holland, we had curfew, you know, like we had real lockdown, not like English lockdown. I don't know what everyone's complaining about over here. But
So they had you you couldn't leave the house.
So 9 p.m. you gotta be in the house, you know, and we was doing that for months. And I was living in student accommodation in Amsterdam, and I was traveling to Eindhoven.
Okay. How long's that?
2 hours.
Fuck.
And then it's more the money. It was like I was spending €50 a day to go practice, you know.
Yeah.
And it went. Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I said shit and I tried to cover it real quick.
It's more you're the one with the contracts.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm allowed to swear in that. Yeah.
Okay.
But more like I was just I was in Holland in this student apartment for like 4 or 5 months, and it just kind of lost the shine a bit for me, Holland.
Okay,
So I come back to be a bit closer to mum as well during Corona and that.
Yeah.
Be able to touch base a bit more, because that's the thing as well, being in Holland when Corona hit, I was able to travel for work and stuff, but say if anything happened with mum or anything like that, then it was like I'll go and I won't get back into Holland, you know what I'm saying?
Because the work was allowed, like the
I was
you're allowed
getting
to travel.
permits, yeah.
Got
Like I was Red Bull, obviously being part of a big corporation, they kind of got a blight for all of this travel stuff.
Right, but
They
nothing
write me
if...
a letter. Yeah, only for work purposes.
Ah, that sucks.
Not like, yo, Red Bull, can I go see mum? You know what I'm saying?
I miss my mum.
Yeah, them ones.
Fair enough. Well, welcome back then, man. I thought you were just here for visiting, but that's cool.
I'm back.
How do you feel about being back breaking wise? Do you reckon it's gonna be a good thing, bad thing for your training? You're gonna have to try.
No, it's a real bad thing for my training, to be honest.
Really?
Like, no offense to UK, but obviously compared to the rest of Europe, like not just level wise, like infrastructure, like no one's got their own dance studio here. In Holland, like I had access 24-hour access to the Rugged studio any day of the week. They've obviously got like 3-4 world champions just in their country.
Yeah.
They've got a few high level crews. All of their competitions are kind of government supported, so they survived through Corona, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas in England, we're all just kind of stuck at the moment. And you really feel that when you come back from other countries and you come to England.
Right, and you see the difference.
Yeah, and you see people working hard, putting on their little jams and putting on their like jams where they can. But it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know
Especially when there's not, like, you might have all the will in the world, but if the money is kind of better in other places.
Yeah.
Have you found that is that a lot of places in Europe, or is Amsterdam or Holland special in that way?
A lot. Like France, for me, I reckon France is probably the best in Europe, but Holland's still pretty decent.
Infrastructure wise.
Yeah, infrastructure wise. Yeah, they got all, like France is all government funded through their art stuff.
Okay.
Like they're really incorporated with their community and arts schemes. Breaking is a massive part of that, you know. Whereas in UK, it's not even really acknowledged yet.
Interesting. Do you reckon there's gonna be like changes coming with the Olympics, or you think it's not going to make so much difference?
Yeah, well, that's the idea of it, but it kind of just depends if people are proactive about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's real easy to say like the Olympics is coming, we should get all this money in this space and rah. But the thing is, with other countries, it's boosting their kind of infrastructure and their dance economy.
That's
because
already
it was
existing.
You know? Whereas in England, people are expecting it to make it.
Yeah,
Whereas it wasn't even here before, you know? So what are they trying to invest in?
All right, so we've got to kind of show some sort of proof that it happens already.
It's got to be. It can't be codependent on the Olympics, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be sustainable by itself, and it's got to be something that's going to be there regardless of the Olympics, you know. Because even if we mess up this first Olympics, like, we're not guaranteed to be in the next 20 Olympics. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking. Really?
Yeah. So like, if we do this first Olympics, and I don't know, someone like, I don't know, does something, you know, dances, like we're prone to do something a little bit silly, you know what I'm saying? And if that happens, we can get dropped just as quickly as we get put in.
Is that also, do you reckon it's also dependent on, is it just like breaking rules and doing dumb shit, or is it like, all right, people just didn't really love this thing?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. But I think, like, to be honest, people will love it, and it will attract a whole new demographic for the Olympics.
Sure.
Like, there's a reason that it's there. It's got passed through the IOC, you know. It wasn't like a spur
of the moment.
No, it wasn't just like, oh, let's give it a go, you know what I'm saying? And they also done the Youth Olympics, and at the Youth Olympics, it was crazy.
True, yeah.
They packed it out. It was one of the most viewed competitions there. Like, it super exceeded expectations. So,
nice.
From like a general public perspective, from like an engagement perspective, it's going to be great, you know, but it's more like if we can't conduct ourselves well, if we're not like, because it's a different platform, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to keep some essence, but you don't want to go like causing a ruckus on the Olympic stage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what's your nationality? Are you going to be able to compete for England?
Yeah. I'm English. I got English passport.
Cool.
Like,
are you dual or something, or just?
No, I was born in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And then I came over here pretty young, and I'm just English.
Oh, cool. So, who's? I don't know how much of this is opinion or fact, but like, who's your? Like, who? Well, first of all, how many are we allowed to like put forward for the Olympics? Do we know?
We don't even have like none of it is specified yet, you know.
Okay.
We're getting towards the end stages of it, but even that's not really released to general public yet.
Yeah.
We get like updated guidelines and kind of hints and pointers, but right now we're still they've released like the rules of who you're allowed to represent and stuff, but it's pretty basic stuff, like the same as other sports, you know what I mean? But as far as like a judging system and like schematics of how the whole thing's going to work, we're still waiting for it.
Fair. All right. So who's at least in the conversation?
For me, I think it's real clear who it is. It's like Karam, me, Sheku, depending on age, I guess Terra. And
how old is she now?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
She must be like 14 something,
okay, fair.
Maybe. I'm real bad with ages. To me, she's always be 6. You know
she's little, so
she's baby girl forever.
Yeah.
But she's definitely not no more. She's growing up. But yeah. Like England, we have a lot of talent, you know.
Yeah.
But like our problem is never been the talent, you know.
Okay.
It's been like the guidance and the infrastructure and kind of the view that's put onto these young talents. Like they come, they blow up, they work real hard, and after they don't make it in a year, they piss off, you know, because they ain't really got the guidance. Or
you mean to do something else, or
to go make money, you know, or to go like because even the older generation dancers, they all look down on dance still, you know what I'm saying? They say like you ain't gonna make money like that, and to be honest, we don't have that many dancers making a living off dance in UK, you know what I'm saying? Like in France, in Germany, in Holland, you don't even have solo dancers, you have whole crews of dancers living off dance, whereas
especially
we have
breaking and styles like this.
But even like I guess the choreo scene does alright in UK, but I'm so not tapped into that I can't even speak on it.
Well, I think that whole demographic of like dancing for artists and stuff. Obviously, there's money because the artists are being funded. You know, they still have their shit, but there's more of an infrastructure, like we're saying, in terms of where the money can go. It's like, right, we need dancers for these tours, and there's a budget for that tour. So,
and I think they're a bit more flexible with what they want to do with dance, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like they'll be happy to, I don't know, sacrifice a bit of training time to put in online regimes or maybe bi-weekly classes, whereas breakers, they're either like going to be competitive or they're going to teach 5 times a week, and there's no kind of in the middle. And we're bad with like social media and stuff, you know, all of like Karam, new generation, he smashes it on social media.
Right.
We've got a lot of like the new generation coming up that are a lot more switched on than my generation and the generations above me. So it's definitely changing, but there's not really too much for them to follow. And the main like gatekeepers and the people, I don't know, that educate and kind of shape the new generations, they don't really believe that you can make money off dance.
Right.
So it's not really projected like that to kids. So
And I guess
we have all this talent and it disappears after a year.
Interesting. And I guess it's also got to be not only like showed to the kids about making money, but in a positive way as well. Not just like, oh yeah, some people can make money off this, but we're all about the real, you know, like I hear a lot of that, like there's a split between, oh, I'm real, so I don't make money, or I make money, so I'm not real. And it's like,
it's
you
rubbish.
you can be
It's
both.
complete rubbish.
Yeah.
All the realest people have real jobs and you're like, you're not real, bro. Like if breaking stops tomorrow, your life's fine, you know what I'm saying? And this is the people that kind of speak to our younger generations, whereas in other countries you go and they're like, yo, bro, you can be competitive b-boy, but you're gonna have to sacrifice this, or you could be a show b-boy or a theatre b-boy, or you could try and get like installations, you know what I mean? You could try and do like get a grant and do a 3-month project.
Yeah.
And you can use that as your practice, but you're gonna have to come with a show, and after that show you're gonna take the money and use that money to travel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in UK, it's kind of like, yo, you better be that number one or forget it.
Nothing, right. So you think if people don't hit that number one and win, you
that's what it's perceived as, but it's not. It's really not that, you know.
Yeah.
Like even like Karam, I think Karam is the perfect example. Like he is top tier on a European level, international level, real top tier. He's still done his degree. He still worked in his call center, and he done all of it. He didn't have to pick one. He didn't have to choose one. He just had a real good support system behind him, you know. He had his good crew. He has a real good dad, you know. He's got a solid family.
Nice.
And they kept him in check. He kept himself in check. He's a smart kid. But I think if he would have if he would have grown up in London, it would have been mad competitive for him. And if he didn't reach certain goals in certain times, it might have had a different effect on him without the strong stability that he had in himself and around him. Whereas a lot of London dancers especially, they put their all in for 2 years and it's not enough, you know. But if you know that, it's fine. And if it's perceived as that, you just got to play a bit of a long game, and that's not really put out there for us lot, you know. You get used up and spat out and it's done, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's kind of like having the blinders on like a horse kind of thing. Of like,
exactly.
The more you're trying to compete with other people, you're actually kind of fucking yourself. Where if you don't, like you're saying, Karam, and especially if he's not from London, he's not around all of even if he's on social media and stuff, it's like, he's just like, all right, how do I get better?
Yeah, he's so focused on himself.
And then you take it off at the end and you're like, oh shit, I'm the best.
Yeah, I'm flying, yo. His come up was so natural, you know, and it was real humble. Like he didn't do no slaggy stuff. Like he weren't calling people out for clout or nothing. He weren't fucking playing the Instagram game. He's doing that for his followers and to get brands and stuff. He's doing it the smart way, but he's not like doing cheap little tactics, you know what I'm saying? He's doing a real genuine come up. And we don't really have much of that in UK, you know. Sometimes we get a talent and then we really exploit them and we burn them out for 2 years and then they're done. And instead of saying like, yo, take 6 months and we'll come back to you, it's like, on to the next.
Right. Is that, you mean in terms of...
I'm talking on breaking. I can't talk about the whole scene.
Sure. But in terms of like, as an audience for breaking, that we kind of do that, you mean? Or the like people involved?
No, I think people involved.
Okay.
Like I think like our gatekeepers and our older generations, like Mouse, not included in Tool, you know?
Okay.
But as far as crews go, like all of our crews, they dissolved a bit in the last 5 years, you know?
Right.
But there's been little mini factions. Smack 19 done really well. They kept their stuff real solid. Yeah. But they're not from London though, are they? They're not.
Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, exactly. They got a bit more of a family vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing though, like it was, you can have a crew about level, but then you have to be really transparent with that, you know? And when you have a crew, a lot of it is run by older members, you know, that aren't that active.
Right.
So then it's like, is it really about level? But then with Smack 19, for instance, it's not really about that. You know what I mean? All of them are high level. I'm not saying they're a low level crew or nothing.
But it's more the family aspect.
If LB broke his leg, I know in 3 years he'll still have his same position in Smack 19.
Right.
Whether it is, I couldn't say another crew that's representing on an international level, that would be the same. Same instance. Maybe the Newcastle lot, they're real tight, but they've all known each other since kids, you know.
Right.
They're real family, but they they're super high level, but they don't really leave the UK that much as a unit.
So you're saying it's more like you've got to kind of choose one path. Like either you're a family-based crew, or either you're like, this is just about level and winning competitions, and pick one and kind of stick to it. So
you've got to stay true to
what you've said.
To what that means being that, you know what I mean?
Right. And you think sometimes that gets
misconstrued.
Right. In the terms of like, okay, we say it's a family crew, but it's not, or
we say this is a business crew, but then the people that rob your back are still in there, even though their level's not very high.
Right.
They never won nothing.
So yeah, if you're saying this is about level and about competition, you can't be like, oh, but he's my friend. It's like you got to kick them out if they're dead or promote.
And even if you're and you've got to know that when you get to a certain position in your career, it's time to hang up your boots if it's about level. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not about we just need a bit more transparency in the UK as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like right now we have a lot of people that are super high level in the UK, but they don't really ever make it out of the UK. One, because of lack of information, education, support, you know what I'm saying? Like with Karam on his come up, everyone was telling me like, yo, he's gonna take your place, you know? I was like, bro, there's more than one place in the UK, you know what I'm saying? But that's kind of the...
they try to pit you against each other.
That's what they do in UK. They try and have a golden child, or they try and have a like monopoly on the whole scene, you know what I'm saying?
Where do you think that comes from?
From
not as in like literally where, but like what sort of mentality makes people...
I think because people ownership is kind of some people's only claim to relevance in the scene, you know what I mean? Like if you've given your life to breaking for 20 years and you got no trophies, no first place, you got no money from it, you got no respect outside of the UK. If you can have like a younger generation and they can respect you and you can keep your grasp on them, as long as they represent and they're doing their thing and they're high level and you guys are representing the same entity, then you're valid in breaking, you know what I'm saying?
By association.
By association, or by ownership. It's not really even by association right now. So I think it's more like people not really wanting to give up their stake in breaking, but not wanting to practice and compete and not wanting to represent on such a level, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting. It reminds me of, like, when you say that, it reminds me of, you know, those like little dance schools like out in the countryside where it's like you have one teacher who's not really that good and they're like, oh no, but we're going to put you in the like advanced program. It's just to keep them in as much as possible so that just they look good, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
And then they're like, yo, he's killing it for my crew, you know? Not just like, he was killing it. And even if he's not in that crew, they're irrelevant now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think in other sports, in other disciplines, it's not about ownership, it's about growth and about pushing the art form, you know? And of course you get your kudos for them people.
Yeah.
But you also got to ride through the lows with them people, you know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing about the UK. In other countries, like you go to France or Holland and all of their generations are intact. It's very rare to see a crew in I don't know, I can't speak too tough on other stars, but for me on other stars as well, that has generations, because they either leave, they get kicked out, they break up, they form new factions, and that's really like a rare thing in UK to have a crew with intact generations all the way through. And
that's interesting.
In other countries you see it, you see their OGs come, you see their kids come in, and you see that there's a connection right through. There's not like there's not no overbearing power from one to the other. There's a genuine connection from the youngers to the olders. There's a genuine respect for the older generations, and there's a genuine interest in growing the younger generations. Whereas I think in UK, not even just specific in breaking, but like a lot of people that made it, after they don't get their fair dues, they just disappear, you know what I'm saying?
Do you reckon it's linked back to the infrastructure conversation where maybe they haven't got anything to, like they've made it and they're like, well, I want to do this, I want to teach, I want to build something, but it's hard, I haven't got any money to do it, I can't, you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, fuck this, let me do something else.
Yeah, definitely. But then I also think like there's people like I said, Mouse, that just kind of prove that theory wrong, because he does all of that.
Yeah.
But you just don't ever see it, you know? Like for breakers, everyone will tell you, like me, Mouse, he'll come live at my house when I was younger.
Yeah.
And he fixed me, you know? He'll train every day. Whenever you see Mouse, he'll be like, yo, let's practice. But he don't promote it. He don't preach about it. Everyone has had multiple free masterclasses from Mouse, and he's continuously put back into the UK community. But because he's crap on social media, he's not very good at blowing his own trumpet, you know? He's a little bit disorganized. Yeah. But he fully fits the bill of like the perfect older generation, you know? Everyone in the UK has been touched by Mouse. Right. Through their dance, through their personality, through their mentality, through their vision of practicing. You know, wherever Mouse is in the country, you'll see them. You'll see their levels start skyrocketing. If Mouse is in Manchester, 3 months later, everyone in Manchester's dope, you know what I'm saying? If Mouse is down in East London, everyone at studio is training hard.
So do you think, like, does Mouse also, does he only work in breaking?
No.
Like he has other work?
Mouse does real jobs as well.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe he's got more, like, or less pressure, let's say, to like, oh, I need to make money from this or I need to do that. So he can just go and kind of give his time because he's like, I'm making money elsewhere.
I think he's just got a genuine love for it.
Okay.
I think he's got a genuine perspective on what dance is and what the gifts of dance is, you know? The gifts of dance, I think for a lot of people now, is a plateau and being relevant and looking cool in certain ways. Whereas Mouse,
he doesn't have any of that pressure.
He don't care, you know? He's like, yo, you want to dance? Let's practice.
Sick.
Mouse can be like thin and he'll want to practice with you 6 days a week. Mouse can be fat. He'll want to practice with you 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying?
He's just like a giving person, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. I haven't had that much like interaction with him, but he's always seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a bit bonkers. Like, that's a real UK thing, you know. All of us are, but he's genuine, you know.
Yeah, nice.
And that's something that really shines through with Mouse. And I don't think there's one breaker in the UK that could dispute what Mouse has done for our country. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I've always heard him put on like a pedestal, I guess, when he's spoken about. He was like one of the first UK champ solo winners, I think.
Yeah, he's the first person, like, from UK, we didn't really, like, we obviously, way back, we had Second to None.
Yeah.
Who, like, in early days of breaking was, like, blowing the minds of people around the world. But for me, I've met Second to None, Nick, twice, and the rest of them, I've never met them, you know?
Okay, right.
They weren't visible to me. They weren't, like, whenever I leave the country, I go to these other countries, and they're like, yo, man, you can tell, you had Second to None. And I was like, yeah, I guess so, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout outs to them, they was killing it, but we ain't never seen them lot. Mouse, when I was growing up, you see him at events, you see him at jams, you see him throwing workshops, you see him staying with b-boys, moving city to city.
Do you reckon the Second to None thing is about generation or like locate? Because then they're from like Bournemouth or something, right?
Yeah.
So do you reckon it's because they're far away or more like because they're older, they didn't connect with?
I think it's probably they had to get real jobs or something, you know what I mean? They're obviously from the generation
where they weren't like making loads of money.
Like, even now in UK, we're just starting to get there, you know what I'm saying? But I think they was such a leap before like my generation. Like, it was literally like 20 years, you know what I'm saying?
And there wasn't maybe even anything on the horizon of like, or maybe in 5 years if I keep going. Yeah, fair enough.
And there wasn't like social media and like an easy network like this. Like, now I see them starting to get shouted for certain stuff, or like you might see one of them judge one event a year, but I don't think that was a possibility. When it was the time to be capitalized on, I guess. Yeah. Interesting. So speaking of crews, if you don't mind me asking you about this, can you tell me a bit about the like Soul Mavericks thing and you leaving there, and what was the kind of like, I'm not saying this to ask for dirt, but just like I'm genuinely curious of because I remember you from like Throwdown when like Charlie used to sneak you in and stuff. I don't remember how old you were. Charlie. Shout out Charlie.
Charlie was a sick guy. I mean, he still is a sick guy. But
I was 14 my first Throwdown.
Oh shit, yeah. And I was like, I think I was 18. I just came in the scene and I was like, how did this kid get in it? And then you used to battle and win.
Solid. Yeah, he done me a solid.
But I always kind of remember you with the Soul Mavericks Association.
Yeah, that's like, my people.
Yeah, from the beginning, and that was kind of, I think the first idea I had of you was rolling with those guys. So, and then obviously now for you to not be with Soul Mavs is quite a big thing, especially because of your visibility, I guess, and to be like, okay, I'm not with Soul Mavericks. If it, not just like drifted apart, like I'm officially not with Soul Mavericks anyway. So
no affiliation.
Yeah, what can you tell me about that?
For me, like for sure, Soul Mavericks. When I joined Soul Mavericks, I don't know if you remember Abdul.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So we had Abdul, and Abdul for me was the heart and soul of Soul Mavericks.
Okay.
He was like I really joined in like the golden era of Mavericks, but I caught the end of it. So I done like maybe 6 months a year with Soul Mavericks and Renegade. Renegade gave me my reset my foundation block for sure. Like put me right back to basics. I done like two years in B team, worked my way up to A team. But then after that first 6 months a year, I never practiced with Kevin again.
Okay.
So that's a weird one as well. But then it started going to where the thing about Mavericks is everyone's kind of a different age. So obviously people started having kids, people started having to get a job, you know what I mean? People had to do what they had to do.
Yeah, sure.
You get what I'm saying? And then fast forward maybe 5-6 years of me being in Mavericks, it got to the era of when we started recruiting the new generation. Because there was a long time when it was just me and Spin.
Yeah.
Simon occasionally when he could make it, he worked his hardest. And Abdul had to leave. He had to go back to Holland, you know.
Okay.
So we lost Abdul, and that was a big part of Mavericks for me.
Yeah.
Like in Mavericks, obviously it's a hierarchy. You have Kevin at the top, even though he's never there. You still have him at the top of the hierarchy for some reason. But then you have whoever's in charge of the crew at that moment.
Right.
So when Abdul left, he was always the person, like there'd be a lot of bullshit going on in the crew, and Abdul would be like, yo, if we're doing this, I'm leaving. And everyone would be like, leave then. And I'll be like, yo, if Abdul leaves, I'm leaving, you know what I mean? And then we'd get somewhere and there'd be a bit more, less of a hierarchy and more of a discussion.
Okay.
There was a bit more leeway, you know what I'm saying? And then slowly, the crew started to drop off into their own lives, which is fine, completely understandable.
Yeah.
And then for a long time, it was me, Spin, Simon when he could, but me and Spin done 2-on-2s for
I remember
for a long time, representing and pushing the name. That was kind of what kept Mavericks relevant as well. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but they done well in crews, but the people that made Mavericks famous, they're all gone, you know. Mouse made Mavericks famous, Roxy made Mavericks famous.
True.
Me, Terra's still in it, shout out to them. No animosity there. But yeah, so it got to this stage where it was me and Spin, and then we recruited a whole new gen.
Is that like what's Benji's little brother?
Shocks.
All of them lot.
Yeah,
his age group.
Michael, Gully Squad. Shout out
Gully Squad. That was it. Yeah.
They're back running. That's one good thing about the dissolving of Mavericks. We got some younger original crews back.
Right.
But so we recruited like Gabriel, Jabs.
Yeah, he's sick as well.
Yeah, he's hard. And we had Isaac from when I joined. We also had Will, but he had a lot of knee problems, so he wasn't that active. So we had a whole like solid generation that we was really working on. And then
so they were they were Gully Squad before that, and then they kind of got brought into
Mavericks.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But they was mentored by one of the older generations of Mavericks, Gabs.
In the first place.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
So it was kind of natural, but it was a little bit cheeky, to be honest.
Right.
Like just snatched them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for our benefit, for sure. But I was all for that. I can't chat rubbish about that. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I'll take him.
At least it's not just me and Spin fucking sweating it out for this crew. So yeah, we brought them and we put like a solid year or so into them, and we got real close as a young generation crew. We kind of split it from Soul Mavericks to Soul Measy.
Yeah.
And we started branding ourselves. But then that's when a lot of trouble started coming in, because then we had the older generation saying like, why don't you reckon Soul Mavericks?
To you or
to us lot, to the whole younger generation.
Right.
And then there started to become a lot of control issues, you know what I'm saying? And like we had a thing like me, Isaac, Gabriel, and a few others. It was like, cool, let us take control of Soul Mavericks, you know what I'm saying? Like even to the fact that like we always had to wear the branded t-shirts.
Right.
But none of the new gen liked the branding.
Right.
It was all like some old graffiti, you know what I'm saying? But they was like, nah, that's the logo. So it was like, all right. That's when we started making our own Soul Measy t-shirts.
Right.
But then that started to cause a bit of problems. And then this is when the whole like inactivity and activity and then picking and choosing thing came in. So we had a scoreboard inside Mavericks. Whoever was repping the most,
Right.
it kind of puts you towards getting invites. You know what I'm saying?
What counts and doesn't count as repping?
Repping. So like if you win a UK jam, you get this many points. If you do a call out, you get this many points. If you win an international jam, you get this many points. The same for qualifying. So this was what repping was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you don't really get any points for just showing up?
No.
Just more if you achieve something out there.
Yeah. If you're repping, no waving the flag, you know what I'm saying? But that's where it started to get a bit tricky because the people on the scoreboard, it wasn't representing the people that was having the say in the crew and that was getting the invites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had certain members that was top of the scoreboard that because of personal issues or a little like disagreements and control disagreements, they weren't getting their fair dues.
Right.
Not me. I was fine, you know what I mean? And I was pretty oblivious to the whole thing because I was like, yo, I'm just trying to...
Just do your thing.
I'm trying to do my thing.
Yeah.
But so we had a couple of the young gens just kind of getting a bit wronged, so it all started getting a bit tense. And then there just started to become a real divide in the crew. Like we had one more recruitment year, and there was like a couple people, a person dropped in the crew that the whole young gen didn't agree to.
Okay.
But the whole old gen did agree to.
Right.
And then there was meant to be like a 6-month probation period.
For that new person.
For the new member, yeah. And they didn't pass the period, you know?
Okay.
They didn't win nothing.
What's the probation? Like, what do you...
They didn't gel.
Okay.
So the thing is, the older generation, they come for the meetings.
Yeah.
Half a year, maybe for a year.
Yeah.
But that's the only time you see them. But they, because of the dictatorship, they dictate what's going on with the crew. What we're doing social media-wise, what we wear branding-wise, and kind of the direction that the crew is going in. But then when you have a whole young gen training 5 days a week or 3 days a week, whatever they can make, and then they're getting dictated to by people that are going to their job 3 days, 5 days a week, and then come into practice once every 2 months, once a month.
Right.
Starts to get a bit
so
sticky,
they're kind of saying like we're the ones out there doing it.
Well, it's like, yo, if you drop someone into the crew, it's all good that you lot like them, but you only have to see them once every 6 months. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to go to Spain with them. You don't have to go to France with them. You don't have to do this. Like, it got to the point where our younger gen was making separate group chats because they weren't feeling comfortable around certain people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there was becoming real divisions in the crew. And for me, I was kind of put in the position where I was like the voice of the young gen, but obviously all of the people in the old gen, like that's who I grew up with. And I do respect them.
So you're kind of in between.
Them a lot, yeah. And it kind of like me, if people know me, they know that I'm due to go a bit bonkers sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to do that.
Right.
So for me personally, I was like, yo, after the 6 months probation, I spoke to the people in charge. I said, yo, this ain't, what is this, you know? Like, I got to be front line with this person.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that my thing's integrity, you know? And everyone knows that I don't like certain people. But because of you lot that aren't even battling with these certain people, I got to stand front line. And like, you can watch footage of us and you can see when certain people come out, all the new gen are just like...
Right. So it wasn't like a unified front?
No, it was real poor. And it was like, it was real demotivating for the squad, you know what I mean? And also, because of the democracy, the kids aren't really allowed to speak, you know what I mean? And it's kind of indoctrinated into them. Like, everyone says to them, like, yo, say your part. But they say it like this, you know, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Huh? And the kids, they're soft, you know, like, Shogs is soft, Gabriel's soft, Daz is a beast, but he don't really care, you know?
Yeah, right.
So they just sit there and they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then they'll come to me and they're like, yeah, this shit's a bit whack, you know?
Right.
And for me, it was just long. It was too much pressure, you know what I'm saying? And I was starting to hate people in the crew that I've known for 10 years. And then I'm like, yo, we don't make no money as a crew. We don't even win jams. Yeah. We don't do nothing. I don't want to hate you people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for the sake of breakdance, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You guys don't even rep, you know? Like, if it was like the kids, then we don't talk about it and we get through it. But I still chat to the kids all the time. Yeah. I'm going to Isaac's thing tonight.
Yeah.
Gabriel's coming down to mine next week. Shogs came down to mine last month. Like, I see all the kids. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see the old gen. So I got to the point where I was like, yo, this is sour, you know? This is real sour. So, I'm going to go and try and keep this, like, some friendships outside of dance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not really worth it for me. Like, not to be shallow or nothing, but if we was making money and making a living off this, and if we was repping and there was value in this crew, then I get the dictatorship and all of this stuff. But right now, you guys are just holding on to a name and you're hurting these kids. You're hurting me. And you're kind of like forming not a very good environment for these lot to grow up in. But then I'm starting to think maybe it's me, you know. Maybe I'm just being crazy because that's kind of my thing a little bit. So I was like, yo, I'm just going to take a step back. Boom. Whatever, innit?
Just to kind of preserve the relationships.
Just to preserve, like, you lot want to do the dictatorship. I'm not into that no more, you know what I'm saying? Like, for one instance, one of the older gen, he didn't speak to me for 2 years when I was in Mavericks.
Oh, shit.
And the reason it's because I said, yo, we shouldn't do all of the UK champs promotion for free.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And then he was like, what should we do then, Sunny? And I was like, yo, tell Hooch, £400 a member, and we'll do what you want. And he was like, he's never going to pay that. And I was like, I know he's not going to pay that. But if you start at 400, hopefully we'll get something, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
But if you start at 0 and say, give us free tickets, we get free tickets anyway. Then we ain't going to get shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that started a massive beef. That was me being disrespectful, you know? And I was like, then it got to the point where I was like, not to be rude, but how much money have you made off dance, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like throwing that stuff out. And they're all like, oh, don't be like that. And I'm like, no, but this is my career. Like, you lot don't make money off dance. So if you want to do UK champs promotion for free, it don't make no difference to you.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be teaching these kids that, yo, you lot, let's go do UK champs promotion. We'll be on the front of UK champs and we'll be really cool. And it's like, no, bro. No one cares about that. Like, tell them, yo, if you don't get paid, don't do the job.
Yeah, sure.
But that's where the value of dance
or
is
at least
different.
Like, we're doing this because we're in a position that we can afford to and we want to.
Yeah.
But you guys make your own decisions.
But even so, if you're in that position, you should sacrifice that for your kids to show them that, yo, this is why no one in UK makes money off dance. Because you have people, everyone always says dancers shouldn't undercut dancers, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah.
But it's always the dancers that don't make money off dance undercutting dancers, you know what I'm saying? It's not really the problem of dancers undercutting dancers, it's people with real jobs undercutting dancers. And if that's your older generation and that's what you're teaching your younger generation, it's not right.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you don't even have to ask for a lot of money, you know? Like, even say, like, yo, £100, you know what I'm saying?
At some point, it's the principle.
Yeah, just principle. Yeah. Don't do... Like, and we, as Mavericks, we get free tickets to champs for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, so to offer Hooch, yo, we're going to do UK champs, just make sure we're on the front. Like, that's an ego thing, you know what I'm saying? And for, like... for the sake of being on the front of UK champs for free, everyone else probably looking at it like, you guys are so cool, but me, I'm like, no, we're just the cheap guys that done it for free. And they're all saying to us like, yeah, but if we don't do it, blah 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 is going to be on the front, and then how are you going to feel? And it's like, yo, I don't care if they want to be the freebies, let them be the freebies. Like, that's not what keeps us relevant, you know. The people dancing, what keeps them relevant is dancing. But the people not dancing, what keeps them relevant, doing all of this weird stuff.
Is the visibility of these type of things. That's interesting. Yeah, I find that a lot where it's like, there's a lot of, I can't speak on the song. I didn't know about any of this until just now, so I can't really speak up on that situation. But I think there is definitely a lot of hypocrisy among dancers where we tell each other like, ask for your worth, or we say, oh, I'm not going to work for free. Like, I find this as a photographer and a videographer, right? You get, and I always complain about this, you get dancers who are like, I would never work for free, I would never do this exposure, and then they're like, hey, can you shoot my pictures for free? And I'm like, didn't I just see you complaining about that like last week?
Facts.
But people do that to each other, I guess, as dancers, you know. It's like they when somebody else asks them to do it, they're all pissed, and then they turn around and they're like, yeah, but it's for me, so come on, like, you know, guys, or whatever. Or this situation is different.
You know what I've done for you guys in the past?
Yeah.
And even with that photographers thing, it's completely valid, but even that one works both ways. Like, how many times have you gone to an event, I don't know about you, But you go to an event and you see 30 photographers and you can never find the photos. Like, you will never, ever, ever find the photos. And then one day, you'll go across some random guy will come and he'll give me his card. And I'll go on his Instagram page.
And it's your
there's
pictures?
photos from me from the last 4 years. And I'm like, bro.
You could have sent me them or...
What the hell? You could have done anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it definitely sways both ways. And it's always like people with the visibility, they get penalised from it. But it's like a real thing that runs through our scene, left to right, right to left. And like that's kind of why we've got no value in our scene. Because we spend a lot of time bitching and stuff, but no one really stands by what they say, you know?
Yeah. It's all like situational. It's like, okay,
it's
I'm going to do this unless it serves me to not do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hear that. So, okay, so then obviously recently has been the Red Bull era of Sunni.
Yeah.
How long have you been with them?
I've been with them, what are we in now? 2021, so just over 2 years.
Okay.
2.5 years.
So when we say with them, what does that mean? Like, what does
my contract.
What does the contract look like? Obviously, not details, but like, what are you contracted to do?
I'm contracted to represent their brand in anything on a dance perspective of my life. So if I go into my family, I ain't got to do nothing with Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? But say I'm coming to do this interview to talk about that. Like, it's basically. They're my crew now.
Yeah, right.
But we're paid to be, you know what I mean? So it's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
you know it's a business.
It's a business, you know what I mean? They pay me to wear this branding. If I do well at events, I might get a bonus. They give me a lot of opportunities that outside of Red Bull. Like, literally, I've been dancing on a world-class level, since I was like 16. But I haven't been financially stable till I got this contract, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
And even with that, when I was working, I was always working outside the UK, you know what I mean? All of my work for the last 10 years has been outside the UK. Inside the UK, I get nothing. Like, I've judged 3 events in my whole dance career in UK. Not because I've said no, because I've only got 3 invites to judge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's I know that's me as well. I'm pretty antisocial in the scene, but that's because I just find it real real hypocritical. Yeah. But
I always assumed that was more like because they couldn't afford your judging fees.
now probably
now
not.
Maybe.
But when I was 16, I would have done it for £50. You know what I'm saying? I would have done it for free probably. And now, probably not, to be honest.
Yeah, sure.
But also, people know me. If you're someone with good intentions or this or that, then I'm more than happy to come down to a lower price. Like, especially that's one of the good things about having this financial stability with Red Bull, is that I charge them. That's where I make my bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Right. And now I can help out people when I want to help out people. Like, I got a few projects coming up. Like, I actually do have the flexibility, but the thing is, it's kind of a bit late for a lot of people. You know, anyone younger than me, I tell them, yo, anything you need, whatever, I'll do it. If you're younger than me and you're throwing on a jam or anything, I'll come do your jam for free. I'll come do your workshops for whatever. Yeah. Anyone older than me that we ain't got a previous
It's like you had a chance to do this.
Yeah, I'm piss off. You know what I'm saying? No.
Fair.
But like it's not. It's like I think also in the UK we have this big like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. But for me, I think in the real world, that's not what it's about. It's about talent. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's about CV. It's about talent. It's not about like, yo, comment on my picture. I'll comment on yours. You the best. No, you the best. No, you the best.
We're both the best.
Yeah, and you're watching it from the outside. You're like, you're both whack. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is this? Yeah. But we have a real big thing of that in the UK. Whereas it should just be like, yo, there's clear divisions in what people do well, what people do at certain levels. But it's made real murky because everyone wants their piece of the pie. Got you.
Yeah. So the BC One All Stars is different to just being on BC One on Red Bull. Like, it's not just the same thing, is it?
No, there is. It's quite a new thing actually. Okay. So right now, like, BC One All Stars is not a new thing. Yeah. But before, if you were sponsored by Red Bull, you might have got sponsored by your country's representatives, you know, so like
Red Bull UK
Red Bull UK, you might get athletes contract from them, but it doesn't mean you're part of the All Stars. But now they're introducing this new thing, which is like Red Bull ambassadors, which is like a tier 2 sponsorship, because Red Bull BC1 have all of their branding now. They have their shop and that stuff. So you can get a Red Bull ambassador role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you wear their clothes. Like all of this stuff is like you're not allowed to wear it unless you're an athlete.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not for sale. It's for sale the season after it. It's new.
And then probably at that point you can't wear it anymore.
Yeah, you can wear it, but then it's not like they want you to wear certain stuff that's a bit more exclusive.
Yeah.
Whereas the Red Bull ambassadors, they wear the stuff that's in the shop. That's in season, in the shop for sale now. And that's your contract. Wear that and do that. Whereas the Red Bull BC1 one, they want you to make appearances at their Red Bull events, you know what I mean? They want to show face. You have to be at a certain competitive level, depending on where you are in the crew. Like, you got Red Bull icons now, you know what I'm saying? It's getting bigger with the interest of dance, so they're expanding their whole sponsorship network, support network. So it's growing, but there is, you can get different tiers of sponsorship, but All Stars is the competitive team that represents the brand in competitions.
Right. So is there obviously you said like you get bonus if you get certain places in competitions. What's the kind of I guess rules of the contract? Like, you've got to be at, like, do they say like, here's your ticket, you're going to this battle and you just go, or is it you decide where you're going and then tell them, or like in terms of battling and competing? And
no, we're not locked in like that. Like obviously we've got to meet certain standards.
Yeah, because I guess if you just didn't do anything for the 3 months, they'd be like, what the fuck you doing? Yeah,
exactly. But also like me, I've had my knee injury, like I just went for surgery, you know what I'm saying? So they're pretty lenient with that stuff. They paid for my surgery, my rehab, you know, all of that. I done rehab in Austria.
I saw that. Yeah, that looked mad.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But they're super lenient, but it's more about being realistic. Like, also if you want to do like projects and stuff, they're more than happy to help with projects. But it's about staying active and staying visible. Like if you like me, if I was putting money into me, be like, yo, he's 26, he's not 35, better win some fucking jams, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, if he's injured, like, all right, whatever. But also, it's a bit hard now with all of this COVID stuff as well, because even, like, for me, it's hard for us to travel. We're not allowed to go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? There's Outbreak this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
No one from UK is allowed to go. LB's gone because he's been out of the country for 2 weeks.
Sure.
But if you're coming direct from UK, you're quarantining for 10 days, and then you miss the event. So... And that is like kind of an indicator of what's going on with our events. So it's a tough one, because I know that you do have to stay active and you do have to do certain stuff, but also in the current climate of the world, I think everything's kind of taken a little shift.
Yeah, and I guess they know that as well, so they're not forcing.
They're lenient. Like the dance team is real good, you know. They're humans, you know. Like, we're not dealing, like, they got a specific dance side to Red Bull, and also like you got to do stuff for the world team, but I'm also signed to Red Bull UK, so I've got my UK commitments and stuff like that. So I got to
What sort of things is that?
I got to be like, I'm throwing an event. I'm just waiting for COVID regulations. It's been something that we've been trying to do for like a year now. Okay. But stuff that's more integral in bringing the UK people into dance, and rather than a global representation. You know what I mean? The stuff I do for global is for the whole world to be like, yo, the all-star team is like shit hot, ruddy raw, and then the UK
is that
stuff,
all the like tours you guys did, a lot of tours and the exhibition battles and stuff, right?
Yeah, but that was more just trying to that was more for us because of COVID. We hadn't worked for a year, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like not a handout. It got them a lot of content. Yeah. They done a lot of stuff. That was real good for them. Yeah. That was like a big thing for us, because if we didn't do that tour last year, no one would have seen nothing of the All-Stars for a whole year. So that came more from you guys than them? It came from them, but because of the climate, that we couldn't go to jams, that we weren't doing shows, that we weren't. So they were like, let's put on this tour. Yeah, let's do this tour. Yeah, let's get some visibility in all these countries. We've done more workshops than we've done battles, you know. Oh, really? Yeah, and it was also like a lot for content creation. Like, we went to all the cities, made a lot of content, archived it for the next year. Yeah. What's the videographer's name? His Mini Boy. Yeah. He's the hardest. He's fucking sick. Yeah, shout out Mini Boy. Yeah. Everyone edits like Mini Boy now. Yeah. For real. He's fucking sick. Yeah, he set the trends. Yeah. How long's he been with Red Bull? Before you, or? I don't even know if he's contracted to Red Bull, but he's like their guy, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Because I've seen him do everything. Yeah.
But I'm not so sure that he's... I'm
official.
pretty sure he's not contracted. Same with Little Shao.
Yeah, I was going to say, Shao, he's not contracted. He's just like the photographer.
I don't know. All I do is head spin, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't even speak on that stuff.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think they're independent.
Fair.
And I'm pretty sure Shao is, because Shao is hot shit, you know?
Yeah, it'd be hard to lock him into a contract.
To lock Shao down would cost more than my life.
Yeah, fair. So in terms of all this, like with the contracts and the Red Bull, because I mean this is such a conversation in dance now, is like Red Bull coming in, and especially now they're doing like hip hop and poppers and stuff are part of the Red Bull athletes. So everyone's kind of like, oh, should I fucking be a Red Bull? Like, how do I do this or whatever? Do you think it's a realistic goal for people, or is it too like narrow in terms of like you shouldn't be putting all your whole career aspirations on one company sponsoring you?
I think it's a bit of a stupid thing to put your aspirations on in it, because at the end of the day, it comes down to the talent team to pick you, and also. So
it might not be anything to do with how good you are. You just didn't get picked.
You have to be good, you know.
Right.
But obviously, because dance has no infrastructure. It's not like F1 or something where you can say, look, we've won everything. And even like you see now, everyone is a world champion on Instagram. Everyone, you know what I'm saying? So even then, there's no clarity onto who's who, you know what I'm saying?
Unless you're way above and you're like literally way above, everyone.
Unless you're like undeniable, you know what I'm saying? Sure. And there is people like that, but we get like one of them a generation. My generation was Victor from America, you know what I'm saying? And
he won everything for like 2 years or more than that. Like, yeah.
And he's coming back. He's doing the same thing now.
You know what I'm saying? That was before Corona, wasn't it? That whole year before Corona, he just.
No, it was like 5 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah,
shit. Okay.
He done like 4 years ago. He won everything back to back.
Okay.
Like if Victor was in the jam, Victor's winning the jam. You know what I'm saying?
Mad, yeah.
Like we have this bracket of top tier where there's like 20 people that like, oh, they could win, and then you have that one.
It's just
Victor,
like,
you
fuck.
know what I mean? It's like, Victor's there. You're gonna win, you know what I'm saying?
That's mad. What is it that just on that? Like, what is it that makes him such a sure thing? Because I feel like that's hard in dance to be a sure thing. But like, why does he stand out above? Because there's some fucking good breakers. It's not like we're in an era where we're a bit starved of breakers and he just smokes everyone. Like,
no. Every year we get better for breakers, to be honest. Like especially like with different countries coming in. Like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it used to be like Southeast Asia. Now it's more kind of like Eastern Europe, you know what I'm saying? It's swapping all over the place. But Victor, for me personally, I can't really say, but it's just effortless, you know what I mean? There's some people that it just makes sense. And when Victor, like, he could do something basic and it just looks good, you know what I'm saying? He embodies the dance. He doesn't force, like, he's not trying to be the best b-boy in the world. He's not trying to, like, he's trying to smoke everyone. That's what everyone's trying to do, you know what I'm saying? He works hard, but it's just so effortless. He has that thing that kind of makes breaking still an art form, not a sport as such, because it's indescribable what he has.
Right.
It's the magic little thing that you can't put your finger on, that you're just like, yo, whatever it is, he has it, you know?
Yeah.
I can't tell you what it is, but he's got it.
Yeah, because I guess you also, like, I don't know, I watched Victor and breaking enough to kind of know that he's dope and stuff, but I don't study the art form enough to quite know. So for me, I'm like, there must be people, like I'm thinking of like Pocket or people like that, who can do, like if you said one move after another, he could probably do everything Victor does, right? Like, no?
Like Pocket.
Moves wise.
Like
if you said, okay, Victor do a move, try and copy it, like, oh really, is there stuff? Okay, so he's like reached a level where there's like.
He can do everything. To a high level. Okay. Like he's across the board. Like if you have like, you know when you have football players, it shows their stats and it's like 98.
He's just 99.
He's like 99, 99, 99, 99.
He's the like creator player.
Everything. Yeah. Footwork, top rock, musicality, originality, power, freezes, transitions. He can even fucking do flips, you know. He's so
right.
He can do it all. And he's real fucking nice. You know what I mean? He's not a prick.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you're like, yo, he's the guy.
Okay. So do you reckon it's that as well? It's the versatility of like, you can have a power head, you can have someone that's sick at footwork or has a great style or whatever, but Victor's equally as good against any of them. Yeah,
literally. There's like, especially in b-boy, like not many of us can dance, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we can stay on beat.
Yeah.
We can tick that box.
Just until you get to the good shit.
But we're not like grooving and shit, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes you watch a hip-hop jam or an all-style jam and you see someone connect with the music and everyone's like, wow.
It's like a different vibe.
All the b-boys in the room are feeling insecure when that happens. They're like, yo, fucking put on some power music and let me do head spins. Let me get them claps, you know what I'm saying? But Victor, like, he can dance, you know. He's not the greatest dancer, but he can dance above level. His power is beautiful. His footwork is beautiful. And the thing is, all of his stuff is original, but he keeps the original b-boy essence as well. He doesn't look like me. If you show me, if an old school b-boy sees me, he's probably going to be like, well, this guy's not even breakdancing, you know, he's doing some contemporary bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Victor, he's not doing foundation moves, but it's original b-boy style. He's really got the essence, and he kept it integral to what breaking is meant to be. Which is hard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and being at a level, because you might keep that essence, but just in you having fun, not you competing to be the best in the world.
If you like take Victor's round, say it's a 40-second round, if you chop 10 seconds out of any of it, you'll be like, real b-boy shit, you know what I'm saying? Whereas me, you might be able to get like 5 seconds there, be like, oh, that's some real b-boy shit. But Victor, any part you take is some real b-boy shit.
Is that something that you care about for you or not really? Like, you just
not really.
Want to do your thing?
I'm real happy with my place in the scene and what I represent, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to, like, for me as well, that's not really a UK thing, you know? Victor's American, breaking's American, you know what I'm saying? He's the essence of it, he comes from the essence. Like me, I think of, like, where I got good was at studio, with all the studio boys listening to grime in Maryland and just around all stupidness there. That's what I want to represent, you know? I kind of want to represent the demographic that, like, people in America that see Victor being a real b-boy, dressing like an American, talking like an American, they can relate to him, you know.
Sure.
But me representing that, I don't want to be the face of UK looking like a real American b-boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
True. I think that's mad important. I was talking to Ice about that actually. I think we mentioned you, or we might not have, but I feel like Ice is like that with his hip hop, where it's like when he does. I feel like him. I'm trying to think of other people where it's like for Ice, it's very London. I feel like for you got like a mad London essence, even though I don't know if you'd say you were a Londoner, but like...
Nah, not really, but...
It's definitely
I spent
a UK
my most
thing.
time here, to be honest, from where I've lived in all the places. I spent the most time in London.
Fair.
And they try to claim me. And like, all my friends are here, but I wouldn't say I'm from anywhere, to be honest. Right.
But yeah, it's like a real, like, you could be at a jam or something. If we saw, like, especially like you and Ice are like good examples of that. It's like, oh, they're from England. Yeah, whereas some people, I guess...
Yeah, Papaya got real integrity when he dances.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I guess it's also like knowing how to balance it, because I think people are like, they want to, I guess, pay homage to the originators, or like you said, the essence of the style.
Yeah.
But obviously if they're all American, where the style came from, you're going to end up looking American or kind of going that way. So I think it's hard to like keep your style, but still do the style justice. And yeah.
And I think it's like it's what you want to take from dance, you know. It's like whether you want to embody something or whether you want to use it as like a passage to show what you want to show. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
A lot of people, like, especially with breaking, I think the demographic that we attract is super insecure. Like, we get a lot of like non-cool kids, uni kids, like just people that need a little confidence, ego booster, and that's great, you know. It's real, like that's something amazing that dance can give to people, some confidence and some identity. But then you see, like, 5 years later, they've started smoking weed, they're fucking gangster, and you're like, yo, he was a geek 5 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Then they go back to their parents' house and they like hide all their weed, take off their TNs, you know what I mean? Like the whole thing, they cover up their tattoos and that.
So it's more like when they get into the style, they feel like they have to act a certain way, or...
And that's fine, you know, but I think that's kind of the choice when you make dance. Like, are you going to embody dance, or are you going to use it as I don't know, some way to push what you want to push? Like Victor, what he embodies. Yeah. He was already that before breaking, you know?
Sure. It's not him trying to do that.
He was just that.
Yeah.
Whereas me, if I wanted to be that, it'd be fake as fuck, you know?
Yeah, and I think people can tell the difference.
Yeah, they'd see it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you do it to a high enough level, you can still appreciate it, you know? There's nothing wrong with being fake and embodying that. Like, people say you shouldn't be fake, but yo, like let's be real, 80% of the scene is fake.
Yeah.
Like for real.
And I guess there's a difference between being fake and like, in a way, like putting on a show or being a character. Because like, I guess there's b-boys that are like super confrontational in battles, but they actually don't want to fight people. It's just a part of the
98% of the scene.
Yeah.
No one wants to fight in the scene.
Yeah.
B-boys don't want to fight, bruv.
I mean, if you someone told me this, I can't remember. It was a French dancer, not a b-boy, but I can't remember who it was. But
France wants to fight.
But they were
say nothing about France.
I said no because I was talking to them about something, and I was like, "Oh, did you ever feel like it was going to be a fight?" It was like, "No, because then it would be a fight. Like if I wanted to, like it wouldn't be a battle anymore."
No,
So it's like
every time I've judged in France, I've seen a fight. whole time France. I feel real good in France. They love me. I love them.
Yeah.
But in general, it's a persona. You know, we're a performance art. We're not we're not like an appreciation art, you know what I'm saying? There is a performance aspect to it.
So there's a little bit of like...
If we're in a theatre, then we're an appreciation art. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, even if it's shit, people are going to clap. But if you're a battle dancer, it's performance, yo. You can't come there with your head down, no personality. You can if your level's super high.
True.
But even that's that 1 in a million, you know?
Yeah. And I guess also for me, the thing I've always had an issue with these type of things, because I see it more in the top styles, obviously, because that's more where I am. But even in breaking, even in like the way people dress of like, or wanting to portray the characters of the people who created the styles or, you know, from that era. But then my thing has always been, but what happens in 30, 50 years when people look at our generation, they're going to be like, oh, what was it like to dress in like 2020? And they're like, they just look at all the pictures and all the videos. It's like, oh, it's the same as the 80s.
Well,
like,
what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
You guys didn't grow up?
Yeah, which is like, I think, which is what I've always liked about watching dancers who are themselves. Because it's like, oh, you're representing something that's like now. And like, especially like
valid.
All the hip hop dancers and stuff who dance in a way that's like related to the social dances of now, as opposed to like just doing all these old New York, like we didn't grow up in the 80s. So like, what's your experience to dance like that? But when people dance, like, I'm like, oh, you go out in the clubs now. Like that, I can tell by the way you dance.
You socialize with this in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just in these competitions,
Yeah, which I think is the whole point. It's like to make your mark on the era that you're in. And then when people look back, they're like, oh yeah, cool, London in 2021. Like this was the vibe, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think stand-up does well with that though, to be honest.
More than breaking.
More than breaking, yeah, for sure. I think now we're coming into an era, like our new generation of UK breakers, hot shit, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully they survive the next 5 years.
Yeah.
They should do. But we haven't got like a problem with talent, you know what I'm saying? Sure. We got talent here, like so much. I don't know about the other styles, but even for hip-hop, I'd say like we have fucking talent in hip-hop, you know what I'm saying?
I think we've got some good...
That's the closest from studio. Like I only know the studio lot, you know what I'm saying? And I back them lot. Yeah. But yo, even just coming through Maryland, you know how much fucking talent is in Maryland? Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. There's a lot of good up and coming young dancers, I think. But again, I kind of feel the same as how you feel about breaking, where it's like it depends how they're guided and molded.
And whether they're told like, yo, you can do it, there's gonna be a fucking struggle, you know? Like people think I blew up. But I spent like 6 years losing in the first round. You know what I'm saying? But no one remembers that.
They just remember Hong 10.
Yeah. Literally. And even after Hong 10, I gave up for a year after Hong 10.
Really?
It was too much for me.
Oh shit, in what way?
Like me, I've got real big family political issues in Malaysia.
Okay.
So when I blew up with Hong 10, like a lot of Malaysians found out where I was, and all of my comments on my videos was just about all of like old family political stuff.
Shit.
And then like dance was like my outlet from all of that stuff. Like, I was going crazy, and then I found dance and I put it all into dance. Then I got famous at dance, and every time I go on a video, they just be talking about stuff that's not related to my dance. It's related to my past.
So the Hong 10 was like the first thing that like gave you that worldwide.
And that like that's the thing as well. When I beat Hong 10, that was such an anomaly kind of for UK people in the scene.
Yeah. I think I was there.
Yeah, sure everyone says that.
Yeah. What year was it?
I think it was 2014, maybe even before that. 2013, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I was literally no one before that. Never got an invite outside the UK. I wasn't even meant to do that UK champs. Like,
oh, really?
A couple of the invites dropped out, and they was asking all of Mavericks like, "Yo, do you wanna do UK champs?" And they was all like, "Nah." And then it finally got down to me, and I was like,
"All right, fuck it, I'll do it."
I'll do it. And then I done it, and I beat him, and then the next week I had an invite every single week.
Oh shit!
Like every single week, you know.
That's
from
mad.
0 to boom. He was meant to win, you know what I mean? And
do you think it's because of his visibility?
it's because of him.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's no way that someone that big, there is way, but especially back then, you don't get beat by unknowns. And it was because we were in UK, you know. Like, I think if that battle happened, like me, if you watch that battle, I didn't win that battle, you know.
Do you think?
No, bro. Like, I had I done a really good first round, and then I done like a really, really fucking good head spin.
Yeah, that was what I remember from
exactly,
that. Yeah,
but that's all anyone remembers is the head spin. But if you watch that, like a judge should watch that, all I did was the head spin, you know what I'm saying? The rest of that round, garbage, bro.
Shit.
But we was in UK, the whole of UK was like, oh my god, the little kid is gonna beat the superstar.
Yeah.
And then
so it was more the like vibe and the excitement.
They got coerced into me winning that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what happens, you know. That's kind of the subjective thing of art versus sport. It was a moment, you know what I mean? And moments do go a long way in dance. They don't translate into video.
And it's really hard to not
buy into it.
Yeah, and to find ways of making rules like that will get rid of that in dance. Like they're always gonna seep through. Like it's like, all right, you have all these criteria, but it's like you're still gonna be.
If someone has that magic moment, it's that magic moment.
Yeah.
But it was because of that. It was like that had been. It was because it was Hong 10, and that was it. It weren't because like I was still the same level 3 months before it. You know what I'm saying? But no one. If I didn't go to that battle, it would have taken me another 2 years to get my invites, I think.
Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's like the thing where it's like you kind of got to be ready all the time, but like you can have that one opportunity. I mean, maybe it's like if you were like, nah, I don't feel like entering today because I'm not going to beat Hong 10 anyway or whatever, then that wouldn't have all took off for you, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of ties back to like not wanting a Red Bull contract, you know, not basing your career on a Red Bull contract.
I forgot that's where we were,
Because I think we've been jumping away. My brain's a bit scattered,
that's
you know.
Fine.
It's hard to keep me on track.
That's all right.
But fucking if you're solely aiming for a Red Bull contract, and say you don't get it in 2 years, you're gonna be like, yo, what am I gonna do this for another 10 years? Am I gonna? And then like me, when I got my Red Bull contract, it was so out of the blue.
Like you weren't planning it?
No, not at all. Like I really had my golden years, and then I was like doing a good couple 2 years, and then I got my Red Bull contract. But I didn't get it in my golden years, and now I'm reinventing myself a bit. I'm trying to really push hard again. Yeah. And like I'm really working hard for my contract. But when I got my contract, I was in shock, you know.
What do you think it was that made them? If you say it as like you've passed your golden years, what made them say, "Oh, we need Sunni"?
I think they needed UK representation for sure.
Got ya.
Or even just from a Red Bull side, I reckon, because we're a big audience.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Even when like from a live stream point of view, from a Western audience point of view. Yeah. Like I think if I was in a different country, maybe I might not have got it, or maybe I would have got it earlier, or rah. But I think I've got a really good CV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I've won a decent amount of stuff. I've beat everyone at some point, maybe not won the jams, but as far as winning stuff, I've beat a lot of people. And I think they also wanted someone who was a bit younger and a bit more relatable. I don't know, I can't speak to them, but for me, I feel like I'm a bit more, not a voice of the younger generation, but I think people can look at me and they don't see a superstar as much as they look at Hong 10. And they're like, how the fuck do you become Hong 10? You see me, they're like, yo, I reckon, I know where he comes from, and I know like that's a bit more relatable, I could achievable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
And I think it brings a bit more, grounds the crew a little bit. Not grounds the crew, but I think it makes it a bit more, can't find the word, like, not relatable, but
I know what you mean. Yeah, because I guess that's true, because it's like, What was the last BC one that you did? Was it not because Karam did this year's one, right?
Yeah, he done last year. The last one I done was in Switzerland, which was 2 years ago. Okay, and what you did? Where did you get to?
First round, yeah. So I guess even with that, where it's like, if you had Hong 10 or Victor or someone who just came in and sweeped up every time they battled, then it's like, okay, BC1 is like, or Red Bull athletes are of this level, and which is kind of part of what they want. But I guess the other side is like, all right, you went to to BC1, you lost first round. So it's like, all right, well, so maybe there's something else that makes him, you know what I mean? It makes it like...
My thing's never been winning, you know? Like, I've won my fair amount of international jams.
Yeah.
But my thing is always, how I got my invites was like, I never went to big jams trying to win. Like, I just knew because I used to smoke a lot and was just a proper hippie child, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I'd look at the lineup and I'd be like, boom, all right, that's the biggest guy. If I can just keep my stamina to him, and when I get him, that's going to be the big battle, you know? And that's what I do. I just have the biggest battles of the event all the time. And I'd make
When you say big battles, like, what does that mean? Like, against a big guy, it's like you just want to make it exciting and fun to watch.
Like, you know, when you have a battle, you can be like, yo, I'm going to scrape past all of these.
Sure.
I'm going to section my rounds so I make it to the final and this, that.
Yeah.
Me, no, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to make sure I get to him. And when I get to him, I'm going to start first. And I'm going to set the level so high. And I know that he is going to be able to catch the level as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do no weird tactics. We're just going to have like the big battle. And then
even if that's
wins,
the semis or...
that's the end of it, that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? And then my battle... Like, unless you're the winner, if you come second, it's always about who had the best battle after that. You know what I mean? You're like, yo, Thingy won, but Thingy was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And my thing would always be to the one that's going crazy,
Sick.
Like, if I go to an event, no one would think I'd win, but no one wants me second round, you know? Like, no, they'll be like, yo, that guy's going to win. But I fucking hope. He's going to fucking kamikaze if he gets me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I guess also that's the thing, like, with battling... Like, I've been in the position of what you're saying about battling people like that who I'm like, I can beat you, but you're going to make me do more than I need to, because then I've got the finals. Like, I know I'm going to beat you. I know I'm going to get to the finals, but I need to save this shit for the finals, but I need it to be able to beat you. And it's like fucking annoying.
And you know, like, if they beat you, then they ain't gonna have shit left. Like me, I'll be doing stuff and they'll be like, you're using all your stuff. And I'm like, I know, I know, motherfucker.
But for you, I guess it also it works both ways, because it's like, all right, if you get the big guy, whoever that is, in the semis, use all your shit, beat him and get to the finals and lose, it's like, oh yeah, but what people are going to care about is the fact that you beat the big guy.
Now my thing was never to win jams. Like, my thing was just to make an impression. And like until now that I've got the support, I've got no excuse to be acting like that, you know what I'm saying? So this next 5 years of my career, I'm trying to rack up my wins again. But up until now, my whole thing from like 16 to 22, 23 was like, yo, just go there and smoke someone and make sure everyone is talking about that battle, you know? Everyone always tell me like, yo, why don't you go for the win? And I'd be like, because if one judge votes against me and I come second, no one cares, bruv. No one
if you play it too safe.
Yeah, no one cares. If you come second, you might as well have come last.
Yeah.
For real.
And I've watched a lot of battles where I don't remember who's in the finals, or I don't care. But I'm like,
remember the best battle.
Yeah. And I guess for the person that won that day, like, I mean, I'm not an event organizer or something like that, but imagine like there are event organizers who the finals are fucking boring.
Yeah.
But then there's someone who, like you were saying, like came in the semis and lost, but like put on a show.
Yeah.
It's like, that's who I want at my event, because actually, as an organizer, I'm thinking about what's going to draw in tickets and make my event exciting, not who's got on paper has the best wins or whatever. So the person who won that might have gone home with 300 quid or whatever, but that's it. Like, it stops there. There's no like...
And the thing is, like, sometimes, not always, and not most of the times, but there is quite a lot of winners that are just dry, you know, that just tick the boxes and get the job done.
Yeah.
And you need them, you know. They do their job, and that's what pushes the level in the scene, and that's what also keeps us a bit more professional than we'd like to be. But you need characters, you know. That's what our scene's about. That's what our dance is about.
Yeah.
And sometimes that don't get you the whole way, you know what I'm saying? But it will, if you're okay, and you can find a way to survive off that. Like me, I wasn't ever looking for prize money really to survive. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I can't imagine it be easy to do that.
No, now though, you can for sure. Like, we're coming into the
era. You can live off prize money.
Yeah, for sure. Not now with Corona.
Sure, yeah.
But literally before Corona started, I think by now, if you as a dancer, like, yo, we live right next to France. They used to have like 4 events a week. Good prize money.
True.
You'd fly over there. If you get second place, you'd cover your tickets, your food, your accommodation, and you'd still have some bread, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're not in the age where Like even me, I was lucky coming up. There was a bit of prize money, but now there's a lot of money out there,
especially in breaking. I guess with the whole Red Bull and the Olympics and these type of things, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, and like even without Red Bull and the Olympics, if you go to other countries, it's just UK. You know what I'm saying? And we're not part of Europe anymore.
Right.
Well, we're not part of the EU. Sorry, we're still part of Europe. But it's not hard for us to go to France or Holland. It's literally cheaper to go to Holland than it is to go to the other side of London. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not even a lie. It's just people's mentality. And if you're serious about dance and you want to make a career of dance, that's the stuff you got to do.
Yeah.
Or create an infrastructure here, you know? Yeah. Like me, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that. But I'm more than happy to support people that will and younger generations that will.
Yeah.
And it's possible, you know? There's a lot of like Arts Council.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about there's no money and stuff, but no one hollers Arts Council, you know?
Yeah.
There's bare bread out there.
Yeah. And it goes to like...
Goes to whack people. Shout out all them whack studios.
I wasn't going to say that. But I'll let you say it. No, but like also we have so many conversations about this where it's like the Arts Council and there's a lot of other funding bodies that are giving out this money, but they don't look into the scene and go, oh, who is the best? Can I give it to them? It's whoever writes the application.
That's what I mean.
Sits down and puts the time and effort.
And the thing is, people say, yeah, I tried, and they fucking write some dead application. They're like, yo, I went to IB and I qualified. Give me some bread.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, big, like that's not how you do it. Like me. I always say, like, get your mum to, like me, if I wanted an application, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I'd tell my mum. Like, no shame, 26, Red Bull All-Star.
Yeah.
I don't care, bruv. If I want an application done, I know that I'm going to write that doo-doo, bruv.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, yo, mum, I'm a bit embarrassed, but can you help me with this?
Yeah, sure.
And she'll bang that out.
She might be able to like see it in a way that's not through the eyes of a dancer, because to you like IB means something, but to her she's like, well, you've got to explain this to me.
International Dance Festival, heavily funded by the government dance scheme. Like, yo, and it's real easy, and it's not even like there's not even like a top spot, you know. There's enough funding for like the whack people to be getting it and the dope people to be getting it, you know. But the whack people, they're good at writing this stuff.
Yeah.
And they understand the value of taking a week to write it, to check it, to send it to someone to proofread it, to then get it edited, sent back, and not have like your emotions hurt when someone sends it back and says like,
this is shit, this is shit.
What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
Then people do that stuff, whereas like the dope people, they spend like half an hour, 2 hours, and it's like the hardest thing in the world for them, me included. That's why I can say it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yo, what the fuck? I put my life into this when it was like 2 hours. And it'll be shit, you know?
Yeah. And I think this is like, there's so many other versions of this in the dance scene where it's like, even social media can be one where there's a lot of people that are anti-social media or like, oh, I'm not fucking making an effort with my socials, blah, blah, blah. But then when somebody with a high follower count or visibility gets certain opportunities, then they're like, oh, what's that? Well, it's like, well, they took the time to work on that. You can't just... You
know,
don't
it's
just
a profession.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to put time. Same with applications and getting funding. Like, it's very rare. Even what you're saying about traveling. Like, if you're a dancer, you don't just get invites. Like, you've got to travel and like you've got to go out. So
and you've got to socialize with the organizers.
Yeah.
You've got to be a good invite. People don't understand this. They get one invite. And they're assholes.
Yeah.
And they don't get another invite. They might even come second and not get invited back. And the fifth place gets invited back. And it's like, yo, because they just paid for you to come, for your food, for your flight, for your accommodation, your everything. And you just came, got super pissed, shit all over your hotel room. Like told some kids smoking weed's cool. You know what I mean? But there's a whole...
Showed up late and...
everything. Like kept it real hip hop. That's all good to everyone, but the
missed
organizer...
3 flights.
Literally. And they're like, but I came second, you know? Like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I've seen so many people that have done, or at least heard of it or been around it, where even just the thing of being late and missing flights and stuff like that, where it's like you costing the person, you might have killed it in the battle, but...
Even like schedules and events, how many times at an event is the invite having to get their battle pushed back? Like, yo, can you find blah, blah, where's blah, is he outside smoking, blah, blah. Yo, it's so easy to be on time, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of people can't even comprehend it.
Actually,
is an
I
event.
guess this is also what you were saying at the beginning about the Olympics. And about we can't pull this shit at the Olympics.
You can't do this dumb stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, even people can't even comprehend. Like, I see people commenting like, "Yo, guys, are the Olympics gonna let us play classics?" I'm like, "Yo, do you guys know about music rights? Like, the Olympic? What do you mean? You know?
Yeah.
The Olympics don't want to hear fucking Big Daddy Kane and shit.
Because there was that whole thing about the in Russia they were playing music with swearing and stuff, right?
So dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
And that's like, I guess there was a debate about what. Do you know what the debate was around that? Like, why would? Because for me,
about
I was like,
keeping the integrity of the music and the culture through the music.
Right.
And showcasing what breakdancing is about.
So people were saying that they should keep those songs
Yeah.
because it's part of.
Yo, the Olympics isn't the be all and end all of our culture.
True. The culture still exists outside the Olympics.
Yeah, go dance under a bridge. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. Keep it hip hop. Keep it raw. The Olympics.
Yeah, that's true.
Is elite athleticism.
And it is a different version of breaking. Like it's not the culture on stage. It's like here's one element of the culture, which is the competitions, and we're gonna take that completely out of context and do it.
Same way that we have concrete events. We don't say like, "Yo, man, don't do concrete events. Why are you doing concrete battles? The powerheads, they can't do their crazy power on there." No, man, do that. That's dope.
It's just one.
That's your part of the culture.
Yeah,
it all ties into the culture. We're all under this bracket. If you don't like the Olympics, turn your TV off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't like concrete battles, come sit in your living room with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many options, and that's the whole point of breaking, is that it's inclusive of everything.
True.
The gymnasts, the real gangster people, the bums, the rich kids.
Yeah.
You can all do it.
There's something for everyone. Yeah. And I guess maybe people are more pissed because the Olympics has the biggest visibility, so they're like...
Yo, it's an age-old debate, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's literally the same debate that we have every 2 years, and now it's the Olympics because it's the new face of it.
Yeah, because I remember this happening with Red Bull.
Integrity. Red Bull, and before that we had a massive event called UDEF. Okay. That got shut down by Pioneers. Silverback, exactly. Yeah. Yo, it happened.
By Pioneers?
Like, it got... Yeah. By, like, some real old school... Like, the real guys. They was like, yo, this guy, he's using it to bump his tax, and he was getting a bit off his tax, but he was running the jam for free. Yeah. And like, yo, he's a billionaire, you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even need to do that, you know what I'm saying? It, like, he was doing it for the culture. Yeah. But it tied in a little bit, and they just hounded him.
Really?
Hounded him, and he's like, cool, peace, I'm out.
Oh shit. What, hounded him just like on social media?
Social media, everything was saying like he's fake, he's using the culture. Like, these people love to say that people from outside the culture come in and use the culture, but they don't understand there's not really anything that you can use the culture for yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What are they getting?
You don't gain nothing from it.
What did they think he was getting from it? Did they say?
No, of course they didn't. And also, when the jam was gone, they didn't replace it with nothing. You know, like
it's not like come to mine instead.
Down. Yeah, it's not like, yo, we need to keep this. It's just like, yo, fuck that shit. Done.
Which is the easiest thing to do.
Yo, which was paying the most money I've ever made. Was that event.
I think I heard about this. Whereas wasn't it like round per round you get paid or something?
Top 100. So if you dance from top 32.
Yeah.
But if you qualify in the top 100, you get paid.
So top 100 is, how do they do that? Through prelims?
Yeah, through prelims. So there's like 600 people.
Yeah.
So the top 100 will get like not much, like $100 or something, and then top 32 will get blah 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 money. Then 16.
So top 100, you do another set of prelims.
You don't even have to dance again. Only the top 32 dance again. But if you're in the top 100,
on the list,
you got bread. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like next level, bro. The first event,
and then every round after that you get paid.
Every round you get paid,
and then a final prize if you win.
Every round, every time you go up a position, you get money.
Oh my god.
Next, like, bling, 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 bling.
I would think, like, I understand, you know, he was probably making money out of it or whatever, but...
It wasn't. It was a free event.
Okay.
It was helping him with his tax rebate.
Right. But I guess you're giving more back to the culture than you're taking. How many B-boys are you supporting?
Yo, the whole culture. And you know the thing is, when you flew out there, it was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Shout out him, man. He was a G. But he flew out the whole of Europe to come to his event, you know? You'd go there and you'd be like, there's Americans here, but I'm sure I'm in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone would be there.
Yeah.
And everyone had to qualify. Like, he would fly
No invites?
out. No, everyone was invited.
Right, as in no, like...
no brackets.
Yeah.
So, like, he would fly out, say, 300 people from Europe and just be like, yo, come do the qualifier. Damn. You know what I'm saying?
Was he a B-boy or...?
He used to be a B-boy, apparently. Like, he still practices and stuff. Like,
so he's got some link with the culture.
He wasn't, like, in the scene, but... who even cares? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bruv, you only care like that if you're not making money off dance. All of us dancers who are committing our whole life to it, that are real thankful for that stuff.
Yeah.
That got shut down, and we all lost out on like 10, 15 grand a year. You know what I'm saying?
But like probably by the people who aren't the ones.
Who aren't dancing, that aren't even like, who don't even care. That when it got shut down, there was like, real hip hop. We kept it broke. It's like, yo, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is why our scene's broke, bruv. But
yeah, that's so fucked up.
It's so dumb, huh?
Yeah, I heard about that event, and I was aware that it stopped, but I didn't know that was the reason why.
Yeah.
So
he was getting him in real life trouble, you know, but not valid. But like, it was too much stress for him to put that event.
It's
on.
not worth it.
It's not worth it, you know. He was given to the culture just to get shitted on by some pioneers.
That sucks. And I guess also the thing is like, if you, like in any sort of business transaction, somebody's trying to get something from you and you're trying to get something from them. So you kind of find this happy middle where you're like, right, I want money for my photography. You want a photographer. Yeah. Let's come to some sort of arrangement where I feel like I've won. You feel like you've won. We're even. So even with this guy, even if he was getting something out of it, it's like, cool, but what are we getting? Like, we're getting more like as a culture much. And as, you know, all the, like you said, all these breakers that, like you were saying about the UK guys, maybe of doing a bit and then having to go and do other stuff. It's like, if you have events like this or people that will come and invest in our scene, that's not, you know, you can win your money at this and then you can take 2-3 months and go and train. I don't know if you know about the thing in France where, I don't know the details, so if there's any French people listening, they're going to cuss me, but where it's like if you're an artist in France, you can take like 3 months off a year or something, where it's like you work as an artist and you pay a certain like tax or something, and then for the last 3 months of the year, that money that you've paid in, they pay you back to take 3 months a year.
There's a lot of dance schemes. There's even like they've got crazy support in France. Like you can even get paid. So if you do like, I know there's this one that if you do like 2 community things, like I'd say 2 lessons in your community,
like for
or
free.
you do a show, not even for free.
Oh, you just put them on.
You just put them on.
Okay.
Then for the rest of the week, you still get a salary to support yourself.
Shit.
And there's crazy schemes.
Yeah.
Like they are fully supported in France if you do your paperwork. You know what I'm saying? If you're on point, and them lot are on point. You know.
And I guess that's the thing. It's like if you can, like that's from the government, but if you can get that through business relationships or Red Bull or people investing in our scene, it gives you the time because you can afford.
Dancers in France sponsored by banks to practice.
Wait, say that again?
I know dancers in France sponsored by banks.
What did to just be dancers? What did the banks get out of it?
So
visibility.
They're gonna get a no. It's like a personal investment for France. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
So especially with the Olympics now, like they go places and they show the bank's flag.
Yeah.
The bank has given them a salary to survive for the year, to focus on dance, to be able to represent to a proper level. You know what I'm saying? And they give the bank shout outs every now and then. They do this, but they don't have to go to jams in their bank branding and stuff. It's like they see the value. Art investment, exactly. It's like almost bursaries.
Do you reckon that's kind of, again, I don't know how this works, but like the similar thing to, you know, when rich people buy like paintings and stuff, and it's like kind of, I guess they can like claim it off their taxes or something where it's like that, but it's like instead of buying a painting, they're now investing in dancers or something like that.
There's people that like I know, without naming names, I know some young dancers in a couple years ago, to be honest, in Holland that had a private investor from Asia that used to just give him bread to be the best that he could be.
Sick.
You know what I mean? Just to support him. And that's not like me, that's my dream, and I don't think that's ever gonna happen, you know. But there is like, you
can't really rely on stuff like that.
Nah, not at all. But there is so many avenues if you see the value in your dance, you know. Like this kid, his parents was on point, you know, and when the guy came to him, he had like he was established, and there was like, yo, I see you struggling, I want to help with you. And his parents put in place like, yo, he needs this for practice, he needs this for a traveling budget, and he needs this for a general life budget. Slapped it across to this guy, and this guy was like, yo, it's peanuts, you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
There's peanuts, you know. I want to I enjoy your dance, I don't want you to quit dancing. Here you go, take this. And I think it's like a similar thing with the banks in France. They want proper representation for their country, especially now that the Olympics is coming. They don't want to fucking it comes to the Olympics, and then you have all the other sports that are government funded, that are independently funded by their organizations, and then you have breakdance, and you just got a bunch of bums going on stage crashing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm sure there's some type of thing where it either makes companies or even individuals like look good, or something where they have to spend a certain amount on the arts, or
it's like an outreach thing. It's good for their portfolio, you know, internally, not even externally, you know.
They can say, oh, we support this, we support,
you know,
this.
when you get off the plane and you see the HSBC adverts, and you've got the people in the paddy fields, and then they got the like underwater divers, and they're like, yo, we put this much into Asian recuperation, we put this much into salvation of the coral reefs, blah blah blah. They don't tell you where it's going. They just tell you like, we do this,
and they can put it on there.
We do this, that's what it's for.
There's going to be another one with a picture of a b-boy.
Yeah, just some guy under a bridge in a freeze, you know.
We helped Jim get to the Olympics.
Yeah, literally. Jim don't have a bald spot no more.
We bought him a head spin hat.
It? Transplants.
That's sick. Yeah, I mean, this is such a thing that I'm like interested in, and but also like a massive advocate for. It was like, there's not so much glory. I think people think there's like a glory in like, I'm just a dancer, I don't do shit, and like I got discovered, and
it's work.
And I was just in my training spot or on social media, and someone just saw my videos. But it's like, even with social media, like there's so much work you've got to fucking put in that's not dance based. Like, and I think the more I speak to people who are especially older and successful, even like some younger guys who are super successful, it's like you realize that you're like, social media doesn't blow up by itself. Fucking business relationships don't happen by themselves. Sponsorship doesn't happen by itself. Like, I don't know any, maybe you do, but I don't know any cases of people that were just good and that's it.
No.
Like they just stayed in their
In fact, I know more cases of people that was good and then got to the plateau and was like, is this it? Is this all you get? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think people have got a bit misconstrued of what being a famous dancer is.
Yes.
Because we're not at the, like, it looks real good on Instagram, travel every week. But me, I ain't been on holiday for years, because when I got free time, I want to stay away from a plane and an airplane. And all the countries I go to, I go there, I get in the hotel, I make sure I sleep for a day, do the jam, and I get flown out 6 a.m. the next morning. I've been to every country in the world almost. I ain't seen shit, bro. I ain't seen none of the countries, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't even want to go back to them because I've been there. And
it was an ordeal.
And it's like, yo, when I get my free time, like also to stay relevant as a famous dancer, you have to travel. Yeah. If you are having bad personal times, yo, you still got to hit your events, you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, if you're having bad personal times, maybe you can call up a sick day. And maybe if not, you can go to work and you can be a bit of a prick, or you can not chat to someone. But if you're having bad times in dance, you got to go to that event. You got to show out in front of all of these random people that don't care about you. Yeah. If you lose, you're like, why the fuck did I just fly halfway around the world feeling like shit to go dance in front of these weird guys for nothing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you don't do that, then you're not relevant no more. So,
and it's almost better to go there and lose than it is to stay home.
Yeah, exactly. You have to. Because if you don't go there, then they're like, boom, yo, we got new dancers every 6 months, you know what I'm saying? And stay relevant in the scene. Else. It's a job. Yeah. You can't take a year off in dance. Take a year off in dance, it takes you 3 years to get back. Yeah. In other professions, take a year off, you come back to your position. Yeah. Not in dance, bro.
Yeah. But I think, like, for me, there's a positive side to that. Because it's like, I also think this is true where someone told me this ages ago that it's like for every one like famous dancer, there's like another 10 who are better than them, but just don't travel. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, every country I go to a training session. Yeah. And you see like 3 people and you're like, oh shit, I hope they never understand how good they are.
Just like, don't give them any support.
Oh, shit. That was all right.
No, but I think and for me, that's always been a good, like, I don't see why people see it the other way around of like, just trying to be good and do nothing, because I'm like, it doesn't take any talent to travel. Like, yeah, it takes money and stuff, but you've just got to be there. You've got to be good as well, but you can kind of be less good and just be around.
No, it's about being professional. That's what dancers don't understand. It's not, being a famous dancer is not the same as being the best dancer. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people, there's so many amazing dancers, but they don't want to be famous dancers, not because they don't want the fame, because they don't want to be replying to emails, because they don't want to be getting on flights on time, because they don't want to be conforming to certain situations and rules that you have to be to be on the circuit of being a professional, famous dancer. And that's the thing. These people you see in their training spot, you have to kind of, like me, I hate socializing, and I had to learn to socialize because it's part of the job, you know what I mean? You got to speak to organizers. You got to be like, these organizers, most of them treat you like shit, you know? You got to take it on the chin. Because if you don't, like, there's so many dancers that get famous and they see how famous dancers are treated, and then they blow up, and then that's the end of their career. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's what I tell people. It's like, yo, this is the sacrifice you make behind the scenes, is you kind of lose a bit of your pride, a little bit of your integrity between yourself and organizers, because unfortunately there is a power play, there is a power scheme. We're not in a situation like footballers where our talent and we outshine everything, you know? It's not. We're controlled by organizers, we're controlled by events. If there's no organizer that likes you, you ain't being a famous dancer. You know what I'm saying?
Good point,
If every organizer, and they're a community the same as we're a community, you know, they talk to each other, they say like, yo, this guy's good to have at your event, he's on time, it's going to be worth your money, he's going to put on his show, he's not going to be as good as this guy, but he's not going to fuck you up, you know what I'm saying?
Which, incidentally, like, I think is supernatural. Like,
It's
if
basics.
I'm, I don't know, even if, like, as like a photographer or a dancer or whatever, if I'm going to work with a client, or vice versa, if I've ever hired someone, I'll call someone, if I know
you want references.
I'll just be like, yo, Sunny, is this guy a dickhead or is he cool? And you're like, yeah, he's all right. It's like, okay, cool, I'll hire him. Like,
and the
not
thing
spending
is,
money
if he's a
otherwise.
dickhead, you'd be like, he's a dickhead, but yo, you just got to get through this one. You know what I'm saying? There's anomalies to everything, but in general, you got to compromise. And that's what people that aren't famous, like a lot of people, they see me and they're like, yo, I wish I could do that. And I'm like, but I've seen you, and after you've done 3 international events, you're spent. You're knackered, you know? You want to lie in bed for 2 weeks. Imagine if you had to do that for 8 months, 2 times a week. You don't want to do that, bro.
And also you won't get the opportunity to do it unless you do it first. Like, unless you're already traveling that much. Then
no one comes to a studio and they're like, yo, you're gonna be the next guy. Let me sort out your next year. You know? No one. Even when you win your first jam, everyone's like, let's see how long you survive. And if you survive the year, then they start breading you a little bit. But no one gets famous from their studio.
And it kind of makes me think. You know what you're saying about compromise. It makes me think of like people that want. You know, anyone you talk to is like, oh yeah, I'd love to have like hundreds of thousands of like followers on Insta, right? For example, but they don't want to do the fucking trends. They don't want to do the real. I'm one of them. Like, but I'm aware of it. Like, I know I don't want to do this dumb shit. But I'm like, okay, well then I know my Insta's not going to blow up. But if there's people that are like doing all these fucking TikToks, doing this, doing this, it's like that's how you get followers. You follow the trends. You make
it's a job.
Whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. So you have to compromise to do the shit that maybe you don't like or you don't want to do.
It's not coincidental. It's
Yeah,
really not. Like, even if you look at some of the dancers in All Stars, and then you look at mine, like, I'm probably one of the least followed in All Stars.
Oh, really?
And that's because you look at my Instagram and it's garbage, bro. It's just training clips, you know. It's not even hashtags or nothing. Like, it's just like, yo, here you guys go. I know I got to be active on here, so here's this shit, take it. And that's me doing my bare minimum, you know what I'm saying?
Just enough to...
My manager, Rob, he don't even give me the Instagram work no more, because he knows that I don't do it, you know what I'm saying? There's been like times that I've been real desperate. I think I've taken like 3, and as soon as I take them, I start bitching.
What Instagram jobs like what?
Like
promoting content,
promoting brands, promoting brands basically. I've done like 3, and then as soon as I accept the job or we do the thing and they send me this stuff, I'm like, Rob, don't ever let me do this again. Like, you know, I can't do it, bro. You know what I mean? And then I see Karam, and he does it so easy, and it don't even look cringy, you know, it looks fucking good when he does it. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I can do it. And then you try it and you're like, yo.
Yeah, but when it's not like who you are, like,
No, it's not easy, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Then people that do Instagram and do it well, shout out to them.
Yeah. It's like I think that's the thing, is like you don't have to do it, but you can't expect to get shit if you're not doing
I don't
that.
expect to get any Instagram work. Like, my following is decent for a UK dancer.
Yeah.
Like, real decent. But my interactions are crap, you know what I'm saying? Like, me, I think I'm over 50,000.
Yeah.
But I see people on 10,000 with way more interactions, you know? Way more. And then I'm like, I start hating a little bit. And then I'm like, oh no, it's because if you comment on my photo, I ain't replying to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even like a hating thing. It's just like, me, when I comment on someone's photo, and then they comment back, and they comment like a laughing face and a thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's what they comment, you know. And I'm like, am I a dickhead? You know what I'm saying? Like, bruv, I just commented on your photo, and me, I don't want to do that to people, and then I can't pick and choose who it is, and then I'm like, yo, Instagram's not for you, bro. Don't even buy into why people are getting paid off it and stuff, because it's not my thing.
But then that's the same where, like, maybe you didn't put the effort into the social side of it, but you put the effort into traveling, into like going and doing all the battles and beats. So it's like,
it's my thing. That's why when people look at me and they're like, why does he get invites all the time? It's because like when I get my invite, I go and I see the organizer and I'm like, yo, thank you so much. Before the battle, even if I've lost, even if like before anything happens, I go
all that little shit,
and I make sure that everything's good. I make sure that when I leave the hotel room, it's not fucking trash. You know what I'm saying? Just basic stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a mess. I'm known to be a mess. I drink a lot and all of that. But it's always at the after party. It's always stuff that will reflect on me that won't reflect on the event, the organizer, or anyone other than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one's going to be pissed because you were a bit licked at the after party. Do you know what I mean?
And like a lot of dancers, they think that it's an organizer's responsibility to look after them, you know? But really, we're here for a job.
Yeah.
You're here to come do the fucking jam.
Yeah.
Like if you come to the jam and you lose your passport and you get pissed, that's on you, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is all little things that dancers, they have a misconstrued view of our position in this thing.
Yeah, and I think it's also like both ways, where it's like you get some dancers who are like that, who they get an invite or they get like, I'm thinking more of like jobs as well and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, I'm being paid to go do this job in China, and it's like, yeah, but they're not going to baby you. You still have to like sort your shit. You have to know when your flight is, like, or like I had someone tell me that they were working with, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they were working with dancers who they told them like the pay for like different days, and then the dancer were emailing them saying, well, how much is the total? And it's like,
yo, bro,
add them up.
Yo. This shit sends me mad, you know.
But then it's the other end where it's like, there's also dancers that don't know their worth and are like, kind of what we're talking about the accepting shit for free and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, you guys are like too much, you're too much pushovers. You guys are expecting too much. It's like just somewhere in the middle.
We don't have a governing body. That's where it all comes down to as well, you know what I'm saying? Where do you go to check to see your fees?
I think, well, in commercial side of dances, equity and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe not for the more like,
but equity doesn't cover judging and workshops, and that's where breakers make their bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we don't, but no one wants breakers for adverts. No one wants us. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Yeah. So I wonder if, well, because equity and Dancers Network are the two that I know about that I would go to, but again, that's for like commercial stuff, not for like.
Yeah, it's for stuff with companies, not with independent events. And that's where breaking is at. It's mostly independent events. And if you come to Red Bull, it's set fees. And they're good fees. But outside of that,
it's just
not many. That's like 10% of the work in the dance scene, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me, before I got my contract, I was living off dance, but I would never get in Red Bull work.
Yeah, right. But and I think also the other thing is with that side of the like the commercial, or I say commercial as like anything on TV or whatever, but those type of jobs, if the fee is too low, like I see it go around social media of like, oh my God, they're offering this. They're like, don't take it, blah, blah, blah. Or like I've had phone calls with people of like, yo, I just got asked for this job and like, it's this price. Like, did you get that? And they're like, yeah, I'm not taking it. All right, cool. I'm not taking it either. And it's a bit more organized. Whereas I feel like in the battle scene, again, I can't speak on the breakers so much, but I feel like on the battle scene, if someone was like, oh, we're going to get you to judge this gig for 100 quid. And I was like, well, I'm not taking that because it's not enough. Someone else would take it like that. Yeah. Like no one would be like, well, okay, like out of solidarity, I'm not going to take it. Or we need to like make sure that they raise their prices or speak about it on social media and be like, yo, these people are offering too low. You know, which all happens on the other side.
And people don't hold them accountable either because they're embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for me, we have this whole thing about, yo, I'm not going to take it, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Whereas really it should be like, yo, scumbags, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scumbags, this event, scumbags.
Yeah.
Like me, I had a bit of a bad rep in UK because there's a couple of events that I went to and I won. They didn't give me no prize. So I was like, yo, fuck you lot.
Yeah.
Ain't never coming back. And they're like, yo, they would try chat to me 3 years later and they're like, oh,
yeah,
are you still hung up over that? And I'm like, I'm not hung up over it. It's just like, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Next, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not something that absolves itself. It's like, everyone is super, super lenient in UK.
Yeah.
And if you're not lenient, it's like you're seen as destructive.
Yeah.
It's not destructive, you know.
Yeah, it's just like standing your ground and being like,
just standing your ground and having some integrity for what you stand for.
Yeah.
And like literally everyone likes to, like me, if I talk about something online, I'll tag the person and I'll say straight who I'm talking about. I won't. You don't ever see me doing indirects or little shady stuff.
Yeah.
But in UK, that's labelled as a bit crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, we see everyone else talking, and we all know who they're talking about.
Yeah.
But you lot think you're politically correct for not saying names online. And I'm like, no, this is how we're stuck in the same circle of no one being held accountable. We all know who everyone's talking about, but no one wants to say it because they don't want to be the person.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem we've got here.
I agree. Yeah, I think also I was talking to someone about the whole Olympics and the breaking GB thing and all that. But I was saying about, I thought that was really cool the way you did that of like, you said like, all right, why is no one in Russia? And you tagged Breaking GB and the other one, UK Breaking.
Yeah.
And then when they did their live, Breaking GB did a live, which was like 2 hours long, and it was Kev and Manny. But like you were there, and it wasn't like a, I don't know, I was watching it, I didn't feel, because you were asking questions and stuff, but I didn't feel like it was like a...
There's no animosity.
Yeah, animosity. It was like, I'm just asking...
that needed to be asked.
Yeah, and I don't think like they didn't seem pissed that you had pulled them up on it. It was like, all right, thanks for saying it, like let's talk about it, what's the questions? And you said, well, what about this? And they're like, okay, yeah, fair. And it was quite like, I was like, this is how we resolve conflict, is like, just say it straight of like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And they say, here's what's going on.
Yeah, but they also, there's a big like a lot of people are scared to talk, you know, and that's not an accident, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a big grip on the UK scene by certain people, and it's been manufactured that way. And me, like even in them conversations, there was sometimes I did want to lash out, but then I'm like, yo, that's going to play into certain narratives.
Right, okay.
That's going to make certain people look bad, me included.
Yeah.
Whereas this is, yo, talking about the Olympics, nothing else needs to be stated. We just need to get through this, bang, bang, bang. We need to not get off topic.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why there's not much open conversation in UK. There's a lot of belittling in UK, you know what I mean? There's a lot of picking sides, when really we're such a small country that no one's wrong, no one's right. People are miseducated, people are educated, people are informed, people are misinformed. But we all need to be on the same plateau of open information, because we don't have the luxuries of being split as a scene like that, you know? We don't have an infrastructure, we don't have open information, we don't have enough pioneers that have actually gone and done something. And like, you know, if you go outside of the UK, no one knows none of us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no one, like, there's a few of us that are a little bit known, but in general, it's not like other countries.
Like where you're aware of the whole scene.
Where you can talk about this country, and be like, this person, this person, this person. But in the UK, it feels like we've got a lot of heads that have done a lot of things. And then you go outside of the UK, and they're like, so what's going on with UK? Like, what's happening over there? And you remember, like, yo, we're not in that place, you know. We really need to spread all information evenly, and we need to make it more of a friendly, open, and like a welcoming place for people to ask questions, to be wrong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the younger generations. Like, if you looked in that chat, it was all older generation speaking, you know? Karam said one thing towards the end.
Yeah.
But other than that, we had Sheku in there. We had a lot of young people that was just watching.
That don't feel like they can speak up as much.
I think so, yeah. If we was in a different country, there'd be a lot of open conversation. And even a lot of the things that was said, like, it's a bit derogatory towards dancers, you know what I'm saying? It's not very empowering. Like, if you watched that 2 hour thing back, it was good. There was information. We appreciated it for sure.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of derogatory kind of sly backhands towards dancers, like setting up like, yo, we're doing all of this for nothing, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, yo, we appreciate, you know, but that was the first time anyone had any information from the UK. And if I hadn't have put them on blast, it wouldn't have even happened, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all that needed to be said was like, this is the information, this is what we're trying to do. This is like, this is how you can get involved. Like, I remember, like, shout out Manny, I think he's sick. But then I remember one thing that Manny said, that even then I was going to start going a bit off, but then I was like, yo, just leave it. But he was like, yo, everybody's saying to me, like, there's only 3 years left to the Olympics and other countries are getting on it. And you know what I say to them? I say, try hold your breath for 3 years. And I'm like, yo, bro, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like other countries, like the whole thing was Sochi, they're saying it doesn't even count for nothing.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But my point is, every other country was there with their teams under this new system, under this new organization, under whole new environments. That counts for something.
Right.
And we're not blaming anyone. And like they brought up the thing that, yo, Ireland, they didn't have no funding. They done a GoFundMe and then they all asked Sochi to go there.
Yeah.
But we like, you lot are the governing body for us. You lot are the people, the information holders.
Yeah.
You want to be the face. You want to be the liaison towards Dance Sport GB. That's what you should have said 2 months ago. Like, yo, we don't have a qualifier.
Sure.
That was the reason. And they don't have a qualifying system. So they didn't think, and they didn't have funding to do it. But if they'd have said that 6 weeks ago, I would have helped Sheku. Like I was doing my surgery. Karam was recovering from an injury. But if Sheku wanted to go, I would have helped him put up a GoFundMe, you know?
Yeah.
I
So it's like
sorted that.
the reasoning is valid of why we weren't able to bring people to Russia.
Yeah.
But it's more like that's
There was
not
no transparency.
Yeah, and that's not a reason to tell people don't worry about it. It's like, well, what if we wanted to worry about it?
And the thing is, the reasoning was kind of valid, but then what they said was the other countries, the countries that was there, they just had their shit together. Or they had it in place from earlier. Yeah. And that's like, what does that mean? Like, okay, so either we didn't have our shit together or we didn't have it in place from earlier.
Yeah.
And then saying, yo, 3 years is a long time, you know? And it's like, yeah, but 4 years is longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I get what you're saying. 3 years is a long time, but that's not an excuse, but that's not really the way that we should be looking at things.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I think, yo, it's all good. No one's accusing no one of nothing. But then when you start saying stuff like that, then you're kind of making dancers feel dumb for asking questions. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I do.
You want to say like, yo, we're trying to get this done. We're trying to get this done. We're not quite here yet. We'll let you guys know when it's done. We understand that other countries are there, but unfortunately, we're not here. Boom, end of it. No slight undertones. No like, I remember Kevin was saying like, dancers think it's all about them, but they don't know it's about judges, DJs. There's a lot of stuff going behind the scenes that dancers don't even know about. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, we don't know about it because no one chats about it. Like, how the fuck are we? Like, we're here to dance, you know what I'm saying? And we're not here to belittle organisers or belittle associations or belittle anyone. We're just, when you sit and you look at the whole of Europe in Russia with their teams, and then you see UK, and you're speaking to the top tier people like, yo, did you get reached out to? Did you get reached out to? Do you know what's going on with your organisation? When I'm going to France, I went to France a month before Sochi. I saw a person from the Spain team. I saw a person from nearly every team, from the France team, from the Austrian team. And they've all got stuff in place. And that is not something negative to the UK.
Yeah.
But it also is a bit disheartening for top tier dancers that want to be in that position. And it's not a blame thing, it's not a nothing. But when there's no information, open information, even about why, then it starts to be like, yo, I get for you lot, you can say 3 years is a long time and you lot don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We're working really hard. And I'm like, yeah, but that's in you guys are the governing body. Let us know.
Yeah.
How are we supposed... After that conversation, there's been no negative talk. Everyone's still motivated, back to training. But before that talk, you know how many people reposted that? Like, yeah, finally someone said something. Even that, the people older than me, reposting that, I was like, all right, guys, I get you, but you guys should have said that as well, you know? You guys are older than me and you're fucking taking screenshots of my picture. And saying like, yo... Everyone was thinking it's so glad someone finally said it. And I'm like, bro, why is it always me? That's got to fucking say it. You know what I'm saying? And then everyone thinks I'm crazy. But I'm like, yo, someone's got to do it.
But I guess also it's like there's a... if you're the governing, like say for Breaking GB, right? It's like there's a lot of work to be done to
Next
do
level.
what they're doing. But I guess also one essential element is the community relations or like PR or whatever, where it's like... we've got to feel informed and feel like we know us, and even, you know, not just the competing b-boys, you know, it's like anyone else that's part of it is like, okay, cool, I want to be invested in this journey. And that is kind of just the way you speak on social media, the information you put out, I guess, which is not easy either. You know what I mean? It's like, it's something that requires focus and stuff. So
And after that, everything good, happy. We say like, we even said, even before ending, I was like, let's just do this once a month. So nothing gets misconstrued.
Sure.
And everyone's informed.
Yeah.
And I get that there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff and it's a hard job. But that's the job.
Yeah, and I guess in the same way, it's like you wouldn't go to a battle, do your prelim, and then be like, judges, like, I've got a lot going on. Like,
guys, like me.
Yeah.
I'm not like, Red Bull, like, it's really hard being back in UK, training 6 times a week on my own in my living room. Like, I'm really happy to be an all-star. Like, thank you for giving me the contract, but this...
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot behind keeping this contract,
Yeah, right.
If you want that position, and no one, if you don't want that position...
Yeah.
I'm not going to ring Manny or anyone in that team and say like, why did you give up that position? And they tell me like, it was really hard work. I'm not going to be like, fuck, man, you guys are whack. I'm going to be like, oh, shit, man, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, if you want that position...
It's true, yeah, it's like kind of what comes with it,
part and parcel with it, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I guess like, I don't know if I'm just looking at like, trying to be positive about it, but like, I think like, maybe this is... learning for them as well, maybe
definitely.
Now that you've said that and then they've had to do this,
now it's
like,
done,
they've learned about that and...
happy days for all of them. But I just hope that, like, for me, that's real basic stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You've had an Instagram page for 6 months, nothing's been posted, not even one thing. You put your mission statements 4 months ago, told everyone you need to follow and support, you need to sign up on the website,
then you've got to give us something to...
then nothing's been said
follow,
for 4 months, and then I post on Instagram and then you come and you're like, Sochi doesn't even matter, guys. And you're like, yo, what the hell do you mean it don't even matter? Like, we want to be there battling.
Yeah.
All of them people, I know if you asked the Spain team, was that useful for you? None of them's going to be like, nah, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? No, we didn't care. Like, it was a new system. It was new pressure. It was a completely new organization, but it was nothing.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I hear that. Like, I didn't even read into it that way, but I guess also I'm not a competitor, so I wouldn't have seen it that way when I was watching. Because I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, cool. They're like, they're breaking this all down. This seems interesting. Like, I learned a lot about the process and stuff like that. But then now you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, true. There is like an element of, you've got like, as much as it's not all about the dancers, is also not all about the behind the scenes. Like, there's something in between.
It's not all about anyone. It's everyone just playing their part,
Right. Yeah.
And for me, all the dancers can do is practice and wait for information.
Fair.
So as long as the dancers are practicing and putting in their work and they know what's happening, I'm not mad. I'm like, it's a bit sad all the other countries are a bit forward, but I get UK is always a bit behind. Not even talking about like, even with I know Dance Sport UK must be a bit hard to work with, like their ballroom and that and all of that stuff. But just, it's tough, you want to empower your dancers. Sure. You don't want to leave them like the first step to push in this country. If we haven't got the funding, if we haven't got the setup to do what the other countries are doing, just let people know and tell them like, other countries got 4 years, we got 3. But as soon as we get this, we're going to fly through it. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. There don't need to be no animosity. And I know when you're in that position and everyone's looking at you like, why weren't we in Sochi?
Yeah.
Can feel heavy and you want to lash out a little bit. But you guys are the big boys, You want to be them people for the scene. Then you got to swallow all of that and be like, we're not in Sochi.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not in the position yet to do that. We're waiting for the funding back. We've just put a contract through. Hopefully, they said they're going to try and get it done by December. That's all great news. And that's how impartial I think you have to be to give the younger generations the flexibility to feel comfortable to come towards these organizations and to also trust in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
the front-facing aspect of these type of organizations is super important.
They need to be accessible.
Yeah.
Like, they need to be accessible because also it kind of feels like this is our biggest opportunity. But if it's not me talking, and I'll talk for them people, but I also don't want to be the one voice, because I know not everyone thinks like me. I want all of the people that was on there, younger than me, I want them to be able to ask questions. I know they're all sitting there thinking 100 questions, but they're scared that they're going to get called stupid, or they're going to be like told about other stuff going on that they don't even know or understand. And it's like, they don't need to. Just tell them, it's going to be all right. We're a bit behind. This is what you can do. This is what you got to look forward to.
Yeah. I hear that. Yeah. one thing I was going to ask you earlier that I didn't ask you, because you said now you're, sorry, this is a complete shift of topic, but we're all over the place. But is, because you said now you're a bit more back on your, like, you're going to try and win some stuff because of Red Bull. So just as a last thing, like what, because, you know, we talked as well about the people that I guess they tick boxes and stuff, and then you were never that person. You were always the person like, I'm making an impression. So to shift now the mentality of like, no, but now it doesn't matter about impressions. Like just need to win. What does that, how does that change your training, or what does that look like as a breaker? Like, how do you do that?
For me, it was more just like when I was coming up, I was doing breaking month by month, you know.
Right.
I really didn't see breaking as too valid of career. I knew I could survive off it, but I wasn't thinking like, yo,
what do I do 10 years? Or,
what do I do in 10? Everyone used to ask me, what are you doing in 10 years? And I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to make sure I hit that jam next month. You know? Like, I know this guy's there and I want to get him. And that's it. So when I got my contract, it kind of gave me a bit more chance to think like, whoa, if I can do this, and this, like, especially with the Olympics, I know that if I really focus hard for the next 3 years and I place well at the Olympics and I represent in a professional manner, and I can kind of open up the UK scene and the UK public to getting behind a new sport, to getting behind a whole new culture, you know, that, yo, it's worth it, you know what I'm saying? Whereas before, when I was 16 to 22, me thinking about winning jams was like, okay, I'm going to win 250 euros. Everyone that I don't really want to chat to is going to want to chat to me. You know what I'm saying? I like being the person that no one can really talk to, or like people will come say hello, I'll be polite to everyone. But I want the spotlight, you know, outside of UK. I was the underdog, and that was a real good position for me.
So like the meaning of winning has changed with this.
For me now, it's like you can't really be an all-star and be an underdog, you know what I'm saying? When I got my contract, that was kind of the end of being an underdog, you know? Like I can't really say to people like, yo, I'm just going there to represent. It's like, yo, in a friggin' Red Bull t-shirt, you know, they like no one wants that, you know, and that's like me accepting that. It's an honor, you know. I'm real honored to get this position in the scene and in the team, and I'm real grateful for it. So I think also, whereas before when I was repping for Mavericks, I was repping for things that I cared about, which was image and which was like integrity, and like we was like meant to be the realist in the scene, and we was meant to be like the guys that was funny, and like people wouldn't really fuck with us, you know. Whereas now I want to be the Red Bull guy that goes to a jam and cleans up, and then is real professional, you know. Gives
You're
a
like
good
the professional athlete,
speech, you know what I mean? Say like, yo kids, I was on a Red Bull contract, not like, yo kids, keep it 100, so easy, you know what I'm saying? Difference in the I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm growing up, but I'm just saying that I've got
like
opportunities.
Sounds suspiciously like maturing of perspective.
I fucking hope not.
No, but what does it look like in your training as well? Like, so is it just a case of like, right, there's some moves that I haven't got that I need to get if I want to be winning all this? Is it consistency, stamina? Like, what is it that you're focusing on?
Depends what kind of event you're going for. Like,
really?
Right now,
do you train differently depending on the event?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Like like especially even with the Olympics coming, when they release their judging system, my training is going to completely change.
Oh shit, so you're going to like study that? And
I'm going to study that for sure. You'd be a fool not to, you know? Like, because it's not going to be subjective, they're going to give you a guideline. And it's going to be they're saying it's going to be pretty subjective. It's going to be on a counter system. So but
you
also,
still know you've got things to hit.
There's going to be percentages, you know what I mean? Certain stuff is going to weigh certain stuff, I'm guessing. And I think for me, it's not going to change in the sense that I know the Olympics is one event in every 4 years. So it's going to be like it's going to be a shift in practice, but it's not going to change my whole outlook, because dance definitely is much bigger than that 1 week every 4 years.
But it's a big weekend.
It's a big weekend. But right now, for me, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in shape and I'm comfortable, especially with this knee surgery.
It's just getting back on track first.
I'm trying to get back to the place I was.
Man.
Even last year, to be honest, because I've had bad knee for 9 months.
What exactly did you do?
I had to take my meniscus out.
Oh shit! You tore it?
I tore it, and then it was like fused into my knee. So instead, they was meant to take like a quarter of it out, and then they opened my knee up, and it was all pushed deep in my knee. So they took pretty much all of it out. Damn. Which was a bit annoying, but it's alright. So now I'm just trying to, like, for the last 9 months when I'm practicing on it, it just locks like maybe 10, 15 times a session.
Okay.
And now it's not gonna lock, but I ain't got my range, so I'm trying to get my range back and my strength back. But outside of that, normal wise, I think if there's a competition coming up, I'll work to say, is it 10 rounds? Is it 15 rounds? If it's 15 rounds, I'm going to divide my sets right. I'm going to make sure that I have extras. If it's 12 rounds, I'm not going to worry too much about rounds because I know I've got that locked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to more think about personality and trying to maybe even like if it's a lower level jam, that's where I'll go experiment my stuff. Whereas if it's a high level jam, I'm not taking no risks, you know, unless it's completely necessary.
Are you ever, just for someone that's not a b-boy, like, are you ever completely freestyling? Is there any time you start, or not freestyling in terms of, I know you've got moves and stuff, but do you ever start around not knowing what you're going to do and it just...
Practice all the time.
Okay.
But at events, for me, I think if you're at a high level, it's not disrespectful, but it's a bit of a mockery, you know? Like, if you're there and Victor's standing in front of you and you're like, I'm going to just freestyle this bitch.
You're going to get fucked up.
You're going to get shitted on, you know? You might hit that beautiful round.
Yeah.
But it's 3 rounds, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you know Victor is going to come out with sets. Not sets, but he's going to come out with stuff that he's going to hit.
Yeah. So how do you, or how do b-boys in general, like, work out that? Is it, let's say, like a mid-level jam where it's not like the biggest thing in the world, but it's also not just some community thing? Are you, before you go in on the day, you're like, right, prelims 1, 2, 3, 4, like that? Or is it more just like before you go in, you're like, right, what have I got left? I've got these things, let me use this one and this one, like while you're standing there?
I think it's personal to the person.
Okay.
But for me, like, after, especially maybe when you're starting the new season and you've got new stuff, you need to be a bit more actively aware. But 3 months into it, you can kind of just take it off in your head.
Right.
Like choreography almost. Like, you just know that, I've done this. You don't have to pre-plan it so much.
Yeah.
But if it's a massive event, you do want to make sure that you're increasing your level, you know?
Right. So
you
don't do
bang when you
shit.
come out first, and then you want to slowly carry on going up. But you don't want to start too low because you're not going to make it. But you also don't want to get to the final and just be doing foundation the whole final and everyone's like, he's run out. You know what I mean? He ain't got the juice. So I think personally, and also dancers are different, you know. We do have, like, not so many, but we have a couple top tier dancers that freestyle most of their stuff. And
could you make any assumptions, like who you think?
Like Kuzia. He freestyles a lot. He has sets, but you can see he's real free in his movement. There's not that many, to be honest. There's like Can
you tell the difference, you think?
Yeah,
if you're like, oh, you freestyled that, or you like that was a set?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. For sure. Like, I think it's the same in any dance though. You see people that have sets. Like, I know, like, not like, I don't know who to... You know Harry, yeah? Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Not even Harry Potter, fucking...
Dirty Harry.
Yeah. Dirty Hazard. You know when he used to do this thing?
Yeah.
You know that's a set, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. And
even if it's the first time you've seen it, you know that's a set.
And Brooke's a great example of that.
And Brooke, like, you can see when he's banging sets, and you can see when he's grooving in between.
True. Yeah.
But you can see the difference, and it's not like it's stiff or nothing. But there's a different texture, there's a different quality, there's even like a different confidence behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like too well structured to be freestyle. You're like
Roche, the guy who locks with Chi.
Yeah.
You can see when he's freestyling.
True.
And you can see that he smashes it. But you also know if someone else was doing it, it'd be cack.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like a lower or higher level thing to freestyle. No. It's like,
it's whether you can embody it or not, I think.
Yeah. And it's right at certain times, I guess. But I guess breakers you've got a lot of different shit to deal with than we do.
Like me, I know that if I'm going for a set, I know that if I hit it right, what reaction it's going to get. Whereas when I'm freestyling power and stuff, I don't even know if my legs are in the right shape to translate the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. And like transitions between one
exactly.
Another.
And you know, even stuff like if you're changing your style, I think it's the same in any dance style, but like people want to see what they want to see from you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, even if you're doing dope stuff that's not in your category of movement, people can't take it in, they can't appreciate it. And you almost have to break them into that new... You know, if you change your style, you have to break them into your new style. Right. If you switch styles...
Yeah.
You could be dope for the first time, but people are a bit like,
Yeah, I'm not used to seeing this from you.
I wanted to see him lock, bruv. Like, that was cool, but we let you lock it, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Even if it's dope. So it's a bit of a risk. And also... Like, ain't no one got time really to be taking risks if you're real serious.
Yeah.
Like me, I dance completely different in practice to how I dance in competitions, because I know there's certain stuff they want to see from me, and I know that I could show them and I can express this certain thing. Yeah, your camera died. But if I I'm not even trying to give that to them. That side of dance is for me, and competition is where I make my bread. I think it's also if people go to competitions to make bread and to win, or to just dance and express themselves. That's a big difference. Not everyone competes for the same reasons.
I think, and this is something that it's like, like I've spoken about this before for sure, but like that there's different outlets for different things. Like if you're at a competition, you're like, why can't I express myself? It's like, that's not really what they're built for. Like if you find your expression in competition, cool. But like, if you're frustrated with competition because you can't express yourself, it's like,
why are you going there to express? Go express yourself where you're comfortable.
Or like, I don't know, you're on a fucking theatre stage and you're like, why aren't they cheering for my head spins? It's like, because we're not here for that. You know, like we're here for different things, I guess. So
thanks.
I'll wrap it up there. I know you got Isaac's exhibition to go to. Shout out to him, because he's always doing sick shit. And we love him.
Mastermind.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for being here, man.
Pleasure,
Super
man.
appreciate it, and nice to catch you. Well, now you're living here, but while you're in London.
I'll be back down for the BC1 ciphers next month.
I'm gonna come, I think.
Banging. Hopefully we're not locked down by then. Cases are going a bit mad right now.
Jesus Christ.
What are you saying about the vaccine?
I got the first one.
Yeah. Are you pro-vaccine? Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I am.
You don't want to get controversial on your show.
No, it's not even that. It's just sort of like my feelings have been back and forth. At the beginning, I was pretty like, come on, guys, let's all get it. And now, like, I've heard more stuff. I'm like, I get why people are skeptical, and there's a lot more like stuff than I realized. For me, I'm kind of like, I'm not super against it, and I don't think a lot of the stuff is like as bad as, it might not be as amazing as some people say, but also I don't think it's as bad as everyone says. And for me, I'm like, well, if I'm double vaccinated, I can travel, I can do shit. So I'm like, even though that's probably there's people like, you sheep, but I'm like, if I can travel and do shit, I'm not going to overthrow the fucking deep state Illuminati. So I'm just going to have fun while I'm
Whatever you do, people are going to be pissed. There's no pleasing it.
Are you not?
No, bro, I'm getting my vaccine on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
For me, I'm for the vaccine, but I think our government is just fucking it up the way they're promoting it, and they're giving it to the people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me. It's like I'm pretty on board with, like, I think science is a good thing, and I think there's a lot of good science happening. I just think the go-between is the government, and they fucked up everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get why no one fucking trusts anything that they say. Like if it was like, I don't know, just hospitals, you know, because we all love the NHS, and everyone's like, oh, they're heroes, but then the governments are pricks. So it's like, all right, well, we like science and we like doctors, but we just don't like the people that are giving us that message.
For sure. And I think they kind of, the way it's been so divisive, they've almost put it into like, it's almost drifting into a stage of, if you're for the vaccine, it's pro-government or anti-government, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for me, I'm pro-vaccine. Not even pro-vaccine, but I'm for the vaccine. But I'm so not for the government.
Right, and it's not, it doesn't have to be linked.
It's not even, and the vaccine is thanks to NHS. It's not even thanks to the government. They just didn't get no credit for it. Like track and trace that they put on NHS track and trace, that was the government. But they put NHS's name on it and they fucked it up, you know what I'm saying? And the vaccines, that was from NHS. So I think if you're not for the vaccine, whatever in it. And if you're for the vaccine, whatever in it. But it's really not
linked with
something
government
to be divisive over. And it's definitely not pro-government if you're for the vaccine.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's like, it's kind of, you can be anti-government and pro-vaccine, because it's like if somebody that you think is a dickhead says something true, you're like, no, you're a dickhead. But that part of what you said was true. I'm in that position 80% of my life. Everyone that says good stuff, I'm like, I hate you, but you're right. Yeah. Which I think, man, you gotta live life like that. You can't just, if you don't like someone, you write off everything they say. I don't know.
Especially when we're talking about global health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Also, I think, I think it's the promotion's wrong. I don't agree with the vaccine passports and not allowing everyone everything. That one's a sticky one for me. I'm not so against it, but I think the way that they put it out there is just impossible, especially when you have France. France is saying if you get vaccinated, you got to get vaccinated every 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. sticky one. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't heard it from France. I've heard it from French dancers.
Right.
They exaggerate a little bit, so it might be a lie, but that's what I've heard. And they're saying like no public access, parks, buses.
Yeah, I heard about
trains.
that part, that they've like basically, if you're not vaccinated, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? The other thing that's hard for me is like where I always kind of get, like I get wrapped up in this conversation with people. Like not so much now, but like, you know, with people that disagree, and I'm like trying to argue my corner. But then I'm like, I'm not a fucking doctor, and neither are you. No. So when people are like, oh, but what about this? And I'm like, well, I first of all don't have an answer to you because I didn't fucking study medicine, and neither do you. Yeah, so what do you want me to answer? Like for us to have this? I'm not
even that healthy, bro. I can't even speak like that. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm trying to take my health a bit serious.
Yeah.
Bro, to be talking on big stuff like this, I'm just so not there.
Yeah. That's my thing. I'm like, I don't know. I might fuck up by trusting people, but I'm also
the only reason I'm confident is because I spent 6 weeks in the Red Bull Athlete Performance Center.
Oh, nice.
And everyone in the Athlete Performance Center is vaccinated.
Really?
And they're all super educated. And I didn't even ask for the education. I was just like,
You're just
are you
around
vaccinated? They're like, yeah. And I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you could call me a sheep for that, but yo, they're top of their field.
Yeah.
And also, if that's not enough for you, I still get it. But
yeah.
It's just like you gotta let people do what they want to do.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I've come around to nowadays. But yeah, well, speaking on the health centre, I hope your knee heals quickly, man. I'm wishing you the best recovery. And are you competing at BC1?
No, I'm doing social media takeover.
Ah, sick.
I'll be there
nice.
Documenting like you, mate.
Nice,
come and see your job keys.
Can work together. All right, actually, wait, last thing before you go. I need you to tell me who's going to win BC1, B-boys and B-girls. Who do you think? Do you need me to pull up the invites?
Yeah, pull up the invites.
All right. Anyone off the top of your head, who's the first person that came to your mind when I said that?
Well, I would have said Karam, but he's not there.
Oh, okay.
I would say a safe bet probably is Sheku. He works real hard. He's got his shit on lock. But...
Was he Gully Squad?
No. He's from Exeter. You're thinking of Shahi.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, not Sheku. He's
the fuck is all right?
Devon guy.
All right, so B girls. Let's start there. Fidget, Labyrinth, Angel, or Stefani? Who's your best? Stefani. And I'm assuming it's open to like you can qualify as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
So is there anyone that's not on that list that you think might give Stefani a run for her money?
It would have been Vanessa, but she's doing Portugal.
Fair. And then B boys, we got Jackson, AJ the Cypher Cat, Chris. Sheku, Victor J, LB, Lightfoot, and Infante.
Yeah, solid lineup. But I think from previous ways, it's either gonna Jackson done real well. He was a previous winner before Karam. Sheku's been making a lot of noise recently. Shout out to him. But then you got a lot of dangerous people like Infante, Victor J.
Yeah.
They hit their shit and they got rounds, you know. But it's more like Infante's got the experience. Victor J's got a lot of experience, but he just needs to make sure his head's there, you know what I'm saying?
If you had to put money on someone.
My money would be on LB. Or Sheku. If I had to put money on someone, I'd say Sheku, because I think he's the hungriest right now.
Okay.
Not just on strictly talent, but just on hunger.
You think he might like push himself extra?
He's the only one that's going to punch someone up for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And is there any B-boys that, like you said, Karam, but like anyone that isn't on this list that might qualify and give them a run for their money? Obviously, if Karam was there.
I think all the Northern boys are sick. If anyone from Newcastle came down, other than like Jackson's already in there. Like I said, he's going to be a problem for sure. But all of his crew's nice with it. Isaac, but I know he's not going to do it because he's an idiot. What was I going to say? Yeah, you know what? We got a lot of talent, but also the thing is with Red Bull in the UK, because of our restrictions, you can't have anyone under 18 at Rebel events.
So anyone under 18 is not allowed?
No, under 18s. And we got a lot of hot talent under 18s.
How old is like the
McLean
and all them?
Oh, Shogs. Yeah, they're all old enough, but
okay.
I know they're not as active as like Sheku and stuff like that.
Right. And Terra's ruled out, I guess.
Terra's too young. Like, we got one kid from Wales, McLean. Fucking disgusting. But he's too young. He's too young. As soon as he turns 18, my money's on McLean.
Yeah. How old is he now?
I think he's like 16 or 17.
Okay.
It's
just
close, you know.
Maintain it for a couple of years.
Yeah. But he's solid. You can see he's got his head screwed on.
Sick.
Like, that's what I say. For as far as UK goes, we've never had a problem with talent. We've just had a problem with cultivating and maintaining it.
Sick. All right. Well, I'll definitely see you at BC1. And good luck to everyone we mentioned if you're listening. And yeah.
Shout out everyone, man.
Yeah.
UK, small country.
Yeah, man. Safe, man.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Peace.